90% of consumers who do a local search on their smartphone visit or call a store within a day. Eagle can help those consumers find you, our local business partners. Using our free Google Business Optimization, we will work with you to make sure that when someone is looking for your goods and services, they can find you. Contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Eagle offers a wide variety of fun, interactive contests and allows listeners and readers to win big prizes. And those contests also can help businesses craft their marketing plans, reach new audiences, and send coupons and other messaging via our email services. To find out more or to get started, contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
97% of consumers go online to find and research local businesses. Your website is your #1 marketing asset. Is your website due for an upgrade? Are you relying on Facebook to deliver customers to your door? Eagle Web Development offers affordable, fast, and mobile-friendly websites for our business partners. For more information, go to eagleradio.net. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Facebook is the leading social media platform used by almost 2/3 of all internet users. Eagle's team of social media experts will craft a custom campaign targeting exactly who you want to reach when you want to reach them. Let Eagle help you unlock the power of social media today.
With news outlets in 9 communities in 3 states, the Post News Network offers a place for readers to become informed and for advertisers to get their message out. Nearly 9 million devices landed on Eagle's Post sites in the first half of 2020, an audience that grows every month. For more information on how to advertise on the Post News Network, email marketing@eagleradio.net. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Did you know 90% of consumers who do a local search on their smartphone visit or call a store within a day? Eagle can help those consumers find you, our local business partners. Using our free Google Business Optimization, we will work with you to make sure that when someone is looking for your goods and services, they can find you. Contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Eagle offers a wide variety of fun, interactive contests and allows listeners and readers to win big prizes. And those contests also can help businesses craft their marketing plans, reach new audiences, and send coupons and other messaging via our email services. To find out more or to get started, contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
97% of consumers go online to find and research local businesses. Your website is your #1 marketing asset. Is your website due for an upgrade? Are you relying on Facebook to deliver customers to your door? Eagle Web Development offers affordable, fast, and mobile-friendly websites for our business partners. For more information, go to eagleradio.net. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Facebook is the leading social media platform used by almost 2/3 of all internet users. Eagle's team of social media experts will craft a custom campaign targeting exactly who you want to reach when you want to reach them. Let Eagle help you unlock the power of social media today.
With news outlets in 9 communities in 3 states, the Post News Network offers a place for readers to become informed and for advertisers to get their message out. Nearly 9 million devices landed on Eagle's Post sites in the first half of 2020, an audience that grows every month. For more information on how to advertise on the Post News Network, email marketing@eagleradio.net. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Did you know Around 90% of consumers who do a local search on their smartphone visit or call a store within a day. Eagle can help those consumers find you, our local business partners. Using our free Google Business Optimization, we will work with you to make sure that when someone is looking for your goods and services, they can find you. Contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
Eagle offers a wide variety of fun, interactive contests and allows listeners and readers to win big prizes. And those contests also can help businesses craft their marketing plans, reach new audiences, and send coupons and other messaging via our email services. To find out more or to get started, contact your local Eagle representative today. Eagle Radio, online, creative. Be heard, be seen, get results.
97% of consumers go online to find and research local businesses. Your website is your number one marketing asset. Is your website due for an upgrade? Are you relying on Facebook to deliver customers to your door? Eagle Web Development offers affordable, fast, and mobile-friendly websites for our business partners. For more information, go to eagleradio.com.
Positive possession is how you need to. That's how you find success tonight, and that's the thing. You know, when things go wrong, you got to figure out, just understand. You got to turn the page and go to the next play.
Lexi Jacobson back in the mix. She played 2 games last week for Southeast of Saline. She did not play in the first meeting of these two teams. And a lot of times when you have somebody like Avery Eshelman running around the inside with her big body, somebody as athletic as Lexi Jacobson could make a difference in there for a couple of rebounds here and there and maybe some bothered shots with Eshelman. We'll see how things go tonight. Sacred Heart, 6-6, 2-3 in league play. Southeast of Saline, 10-3. They are 5-0 in the NCAA League. Southeast will wear those purple jerseys. You can also view this game live on SalinaPost.com. That's brought to you by our friends at Salina Ortho. Carson Slagner and Eshelman enter the center circle. Eshelman gets the advantage, and she tips it back to her teammate. That's Katie Weiss, who will bring it across the timeline to start this contest. Fire it off to the right-hand side. Now back to the left. Sacred Heart in their all-white jerseys trimmed in gold. A little bit of a different look here for the home jerseys and the homestanding Knights in this contest. Top of the circle, holding the basketball, Kira Cochran. Now she'll play it to the left-hand side, get it right back. Man-to-man defense being applied here by Southeast of Saline. Here's the lob over the top to Eshelman. Couldn't get the first one to go, gets her own rebound, couldn't get that one to go, and now the third attempt is up and in off the window. And the foul, Eshelman will have a chance at a three-point play.
When you saw right there was no help side defense. It looked like it ended up being Mallory. Pearson down low, and it looks like Harris is called for the foul. But Eshelman did a really good job collecting the basketball, finishing, and converting the three-point opportunity.
So a three-point play by Avery Eshelman. She gets things started off. Now she will guard Mallory Pearson, who brings the ball up the floor for Southeast of Saline. Again, Pearson just kind of that mismatch waiting to happen for whatever team might be playing Southeast of Saline. Lady Knights out front here, 3-0. Castleman will fire the three and even things up. Boy, that was dead away. We had a great angle at that shot as Avery Castleman not dealing well with the deficit of 3 points. She wanted things back high. Now a ball in the middle of the floor, loose for a second. They go inside to Eshelman. She's going to turn, score, off the window again. That is no good. And the rebound taken away by Southeast of Saline. Here comes the Lady Trojans. Castleman again, this time from the other side. Count it! A hot shooting night in Ellsworth for Avery Castleman, and she is picked right up after the weekend. Now Sacred Heart turns it over. Slazner has it, but she got caught into a couple steps and travels with the basketball.
Yeah, and right there, Carson, she didn't know if the basketball was going to go to bounds, if there was going to be contention. She grabbed it, probably better off just letting it go, but she didn't know where the defense was. But, Devin, that's, I think, 3 or 4 straight games that Avery started off with a three. And when her confidence gets going, it not only reciprocates on the offensive side, but watch what she does defensively. As you see, it looked like maybe a travel force right there that wasn't called by the Trojan defense.
Here's a three-pointer by Sacred Heart. That's no good from Cochran. Rebound, Castleman. Here comes Avery up the floor, right-hand side. Long pass to Mallory Pearson. She stops on the right wing. Now looks back to the center. Maddie Harris wants in on the action. Her three, too strong, no good. Castleman will get the rebound. Free throw line extended in front of the Sacred Heart bench. 2 minutes into this contest, it is 6-3, and a hand check violation will be called here against Sacred Heart.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that's another element to the game that we don't talk enough about Avery Castleman is the fact that she can go to the bucket. She goes to the bucket right there. She draws the foul on Tessa Young. Avery, there's so many layers to her game right now. Last year, it was typically just she could shoot the three. She does everything so well now. Do you see a turnover right there?
Here's a tip and a turnover of a pass. Sacred Heart gets it back, trailing by 3. Avery Castleman right now on a little 6-0 run by herself. Madison Ehrlich fires the 3, and that weird-looking shot goes out of bounds along the baseline back to southeast of Saline.
But you can see it right now, the pace. I mean, we talk about this all the time with the Trojans. Right now, it looks like Sacred Heart wants to press, and that's fine. That plays right into Shauna Smith and her Trojans' hands. She wants these girls to get out and run, and she wants the other team to get out and press and see if they can keep up, for the entire 32 minutes.
A little bit of hand checking and hand fighting going on between Ehrlich and Slazner. Slazner speeds across the timeline to set the southeast offense. Harris looking for the backdoor cut. Nothing there for southeast of Saline. She'll opt for Eleniana Koplis up near top of the circle. Now a dribble drive handoff over to Castleman. Defense pretty good and pretty tenacious here by Sacred Heart early on. Here's Giannakopoulos on a drive, a little baby scoop underneath. Won't go, and the tie-up will stay with southeast of Saline underneath their own basket. Here comes Reagan Getz, Brielle Patacic into the game for southeast of Saline.
I was going to say, I think this is the longest we've gone into a game in quite a while before the subs start coming in. And again, here's the problem.
Yep.
I mean, you sub out Giannakopoulos and Castleman. You come in with Patacic and Getz, and there's a lot of offensive firepower. And as Getz, again, every once in a while that travel call is called. This year it seems like less and less, but yeah, she definitely moved, before she, had that pivot foot established.
Full court pressure here by southeast of Saline. Again, they forced Sacred Heart into 22 turnovers when we played just outside of Gypsum, but this time Eshelman gets the basket inside, and she's able to score. It's Eshelman 5, Castleman 6 in this game so far. Right now, Avery on the bench with her 6 points, taking a little break as a scheduled substitution. Reagan Getz has it up top of the circle. Went away from the screen by Maddie Harris. She'll drive into the paint. A foul called here on Sacred Heart. It's the team's second team foul, and it's going to go against Kiera Cochran, her first personal.
And that's one thing we see. When Reagan Getz finds that their weakness, she's going to attack it. And she sees it right now that she can't be guarded. And if she's going to attack and the officials are going to call that block, she's going to take advantage of it.
Slazner inside, turns, baby hook, won't go. Rebound underneath. Cochran grabs it. Up the right-hand side of the floor now. Here comes Sacred Heart with it. Younk with it. Now she kills a dribble. She finds Ehrlich on the left-hand side. Cochran back in to Tessie Younk. And just a couple of blown defensive assignments here by southeast of Saline, and that'll prompt them to call a timeout. 4:20 left to go here in the first quarter. 7-6. All the Sacred Heart points have been scored by Avery Eshelman. We'll come back with 4:20 left to go in the first quarter after this on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
Can-Equip's Service Advantage Preseason Readiness Optimization Program is going on now. Get the best prices of the year on inspections, plus 12-month parts warranties, special financing backed by genuine Case IH parts, and instant rebates on lubricant and filter purchases. Go to canequip.com and click on the Service Advantage banner to see all the savings. Or visit them at Can-Equip in Salina. Terms and conditions apply.
Can-Equip you.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Back to action quickly during the break. Southeast of Saline has it on their offensive end, and they turn it over with a wild pass that went through the lane and out of bounds on the sideline on the opposite side. Halfway through this first quarter, 7-6 our score. Sacred Heart leading by 1. Avery Eshelman's been a problem inside for Sacred Heart, scoring all 7 of their points.
Yeah, and you're seeing Eshelman special. I mean, great hands. We see a shot thrown it there and missed right there by Concord. But really, really good hands, extremely athletic, good poise once she catches the basketball.
Here's a shot put up by Reagan Getz on the right-hand side. May have been blocked and maybe a little bit of contact. It comes up short to the weak side where Chase Gilpin, fresh into the game, is there to cash it back in. First basket of the game by Chase Gilpin. She reclaims the lead for southeast of Saline. It's Lady Trojans 8-7. 3:17 left to go. First period. Pass that was almost thrown away here in the near corner in front of the Southeast bench. Now they work it around. Lady Knights do from Sacred Heart over the right-hand side. A little bit of a dribble action here in the offense by Sydney Getz. Now a loose ball scooped up by Gilpin. First turnover of the game by Sacred Heart. Here comes Slazner up the floor. She's been quiet offensively. Getz for three. Too strong, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound taken in by Kara Cochran. And a quick outlet over to the right-hand side. Here comes Weiss looking up the floor. One at Eshelman. Mallory Pearson there to bat it out of bounds, and they're going to say it stays with Sacred Heart.
And here's where things get tough. I mean, we've established Avery Eshelman, great, talented player, but here's 4 new players coming at you, and there's always going to be somebody new on you. I mean, the amount of bodies that are going to get thrown at her, this is what separates Southeast.
Castleman back into the game along with Lexi Jacobson. Maddie Harris out there. Eleni Yanakopoulos and Reagan Getz. Inside again, Eshelman. This time the help defense is there. She's going to bang one off the back of the board. Jacobson jumping for the rebound, tips it to herself. Castleman now up the left-hand side. Avoided a travel. Got the ball on the ground while her feet were skidding to avoid that call. Now Jacobson, top of the key. Now to the elbow. Right-hand side, Yanakopoulos. Elena snaps a crossover, trying to get rid of the defender. Now she goes to Jacobson, who gets free on the inside and is hammered to the floor. Free throws coming up for Lexi Jacobson. It'll be the first free throw attempts for Southeast of Saline in this game.
Well, again, that was just Lexi. Lexi's super athletic. We know that to begin with. But then all of a sudden she's super athletic. It's a very fatigued defender. Lexi's going to eat that up. And she's so good from the free throw line. She buries that first. She knows how to get easy buckets as Sweet Eshelman gets substituted right now.
Free throw for Lexi Jacobson makes it 9-7 Southeast of Saline. Second free throw on the way. Rims around, falls out, but gets in there to get the rebound for Southeast. Now she throws it away. Reagan Getz looking to the outside and threw it between 2 Southeast of Saline players. And it went out of bounds for the 4th Southeast of Saline turnover. 2:07 left to go. First quarter, 9-7 Southeast of Saline. Get a couple of quick trays to start the game. It was the first points for Southeast of Saline. The majority of their scoring from Avery Castleman. Early has it now in a Southeast trap. Here's a loose ball. Jacobson takes control of it once again. Turnover number 3 for Sacred Heart. Harris, long pass up the floor. Castleman has it, now back to Harris. Maddie tried to scoop it around the defense across the paint and get it to Reagan Getz, and Southeast of Saline turns it over.
Yeah, almost one too many passes. I mean, it looked like Maddie was in a really good offensive position right there, and Maddie's so unselfish. Trying to make that extra pass, kind of got herself in trouble. You know, going in deep, as we see now, Slazner and Yanakopoulos into the lineup again.
Pearson back in. 9-7. Southeast has it. Full court pressure here. Castleman right now pinning Getz in the backcourt for Sacred Heart. And they're going to call a foul on a ball that was tipped out of bounds by Eleni Yanakopoulos. Wow.
And that's your token,
yeah.
Yanakopoulos. Cheap foul. And that's an unfortunate foul.
First foul on Yanakopoulos. I didn't see much there as she reached around with the offhand, knocked the ball out of bounds just like she's supposed to do. But, boy, the official right on top of it said that was a foul. Second team foul for Southeast of Saline. Here's an entry pass again for Sacred Heart, taken away by Yanakopoulos. Slazner, bounce pass across the paint to Lexi Jacobson as the 2 cousins running the floor. And what a beautiful pass by Carson Slazner. She's able to find Lexi Jacobson and drop the layup in on the left-hand side for Jacobson. That gives Southeast of Saline a 4-point lead. 30-second timeout, 1:18 left to go. First quarter, Sacred Heart wants to talk about it now here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway
in Salina.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
Yes.
There's a traveling violation now for Sacred Heart as they approach the half-court stripe. Had a little pause in there anyway. Jacobson might have taken the ball away from them if the whistle hadn't blown, but the fourth turnover now, as all of a sudden we've seen a shift in tempo, Tyler. Southeast has sped up this game with their defense, and Sacred Heart not in there capable to have it. Here's a reverse layup by Slasinger that doesn't go. Jacobson in there on the re-put, and she is going to be fouled. More free throws coming up as Lexi Jacobson has come in this game, and the sophomore making an impact here in the first quarter.
But, Devin, we talk about it all the time. It's relentless pressure. I mean, all of a sudden the easy pass isn't easy anymore because you're tired, you're fatigued. You don't know who's getting ready to bombard you. So you see 4 Knights getting ready to check in as Lexi misses that first free throw. But that's exactly what Shauna Smith wants. She just wants the pressure turned up, and let's see how you handle the pressure.
That foul on Sacred Heart belongs to Hannah Hoffman. That is her first. Jacobson misses the first free throw, but gets the second one to go down. 4 points here for Lexi Jacobson. 12-7 the score. Southeast of Saline now leading by 5. Starters back in here for the majority of Sacred Heart after having a little bit of a break there. Under a minute left to go, first quarter. Sacred Heart brings it off to the left-hand side. Southeast still playing that suffocating defense. This time, though, back to a man-to-man. Seen a little bit of trap. We've seen a little bit of action down early on. Here's a three-pointer, top of the key. That won't go. Rebound, Jacobson. Lexi leaped up over a Sacred Heart player and took that ball away just on pure athleticism. Now to the right-hand side, Avery Castleman. Back to Slasinger. Stop and pop from 3. Off to the left, no good. And the rebound cleaned up that time by Sacred Heart's Avery Eshelman. 18 seconds left to play. Rounding out first quarter action here in Salina. Southeast of Saline with a 5-point lead. See what the Lady Knights can do with it here. 10 seconds on the clock. Now back to the right-hand side. Katie Weiss has it. She hasn't shot yet in this game, except for a first three-pointer, like first possession of the game. Here's a deflection, and Pearson takes it away for a three-quarter court shot. That won't go, but we are at the end of the first quarter with a 7 points. Sacred Heart, 12 points. Southeast of Saline, that all equates to a 5-point Southeast of Saline lead as we go to the second quarter. It's all brought to you by Salina Ortho right here on KINA.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital-grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School, Knights with the ball to start second quarter action. Here's a long pass over towards the Southeast of Saline sideline. Now Kira Cochran has it. Top of the circle they go. Tessa Young. She's having trouble with the defensive pressure from Maddie Harris. Down to the right-hand side. Ooh. Another foul here on Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and you can see that Coach Smith's pretty frustrated with that foul. I think she's frustrated in Mallory for committing the fouls. It's Mallory Pearson's first. Great defense being applied, and Mallory just has a nose for the ball. She wanted to get to the basketball, and looks like she definitely pushed, the Sacred Heart ball handler right there to commit the foul.
With the basketball, Kira Cochran, she's going to dial it up. Long-distance three, rattles in and out, no good. Avery Castleman with the rebound. Here comes Slasinger, now right-hand side, Pearson. Pearson with a lob pass cross-court. Down to Yannikopoulos, out to Castleman. Three-pointer won't go, and a rebounding foul will be called inside on Southeast of Saline. This will be issued to Mallory Pearson. So Pearson will get her first.
It's Mallory's second after that.
Yeah, second.
That one over there. And that's the way you have to play when you're Mallory. I mean, you have to understand you can't get cheap fouls 30 feet from the bucket because every once in a while you're going to pick up one, going after a rebound. And, I think that's the one thing. I mean, we know Mallory plays extremely, extremely aggressive, and now we're seeing the defense just apply the clamps right now in Sacred Heart.
Full court pressure here by Southeast of Saline. Sacred Heart gets it across the timeline. Now they play it back near the half-court stripe to Kira Cochran. Off to the right-hand side. Little step back and forth by Sydney Getz. Getz now plays it back out to Cochran. 7 points early on here for Sacred Heart and Avery Eshelman. Since then, the Lady Knights have had trouble scoring. There's a shot that goes up. That's no good. And Carson Slasinger with the rebound. She plays it out, though, on a one-handed pass, and it hits Maddie Harris in the ankles. They're going to call a foul on Maddie as she went back after the ball. Now she will have 2 fouls.
I don't know. The number said 41. Was it 41 or 31? The numbers are wrong. He's saying on 31 on Maddie Harris. It looked like Maddie was just too athletic for that play. It caused turnover. She didn't get herself involved. It's a tough foul on Maddie.
Sacred Heart now retaining for Southeast of Saline. That was their 5th team foul. Harris and Pearson both have 2. Here's a long-distance three-pointer by Katie Weiss, and she turns around disgusted as she shot up an air ball.
And there's clearly a focus right now at the Southeast defense. Stop Eshelman, and it doesn't look like anybody else can do anything. I think that's, there's a lot of pressure on Avery now. Make the Sacred Heart team beat you from the outside. We haven't seen a lot of that yet.
There's Slasinger getting into the paint. Rebound, Jacobson. Put back, no good. 2 misses there for Southeast, and now the board is being cleared once again by Avery Eshelman for Sacred Heart. Off to Weiss, right-hand side. Behind her back, step back 3. That's no good. Brielle Potacek collects the ball for Southeast. Here comes Potacek up the middle of the floor. She leaves it out right-hand side for Getz. 3-pointer on the way. That's no good. And the rebound bounces out on a long bounce to the far side on the baseline. Back to Sacred Heart. It's almost like both these teams here lately, Tyler, have just fell in love with the 3.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they have. And, from a Southeast side, you don't hate seeing that, but I think if you fall in love with that, that's when you get in trouble. And they've almost been too hot lately. It's a great move right there from Katie Weiss. And you can't fall in love with it. I mean, attack. That's what we see these teams do. As we see right there, a missed layup from Potacek.
Brielle with a beautiful move, just couldn't finish as she was kind of behind the backboard, tried to get it back into the rim on the right-hand side, but Eleni Anacopoulos there to finish it. Now Potacek with a steal on defense. Pull up, 15-footer is good.
Microwave.
Brielle still getting hers as she turns defense into offense. Eleni Anacopoulos also with a basket in there as well. Now a little Southeast 4-0 run. 16-9, Southeast of Saline quickly building their biggest lead of the game here with 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. Looking inside at Eshelman now. She's being guarded by Carson Slasinger. 3-pointer again put up by Sacred Heart. No good off the back of the rim. Reagan gets with the rebound. Gets to the right-hand side. Yannikopoulos. Elena goes to the baseline. Now comes back around. Goes to the rim and scores. Elena Yannikopoulos is serious about her offense here in the second quarter. What a move.
Well, and this is something we know Elena's fully capable of doing. We just haven't. Oh, what great defense, right? A double call by the official.
Kind of a mix there by the official. He pointed at the feet, said traveling on the Sacred Heart player. Then he went to the jump ball as Yannikopoulos tied her up. So Elena getting it done offensively and defensively here. She's going to take a break as Castleman will come back in. Also Chase Gilpin back into the fray.
But, do you ever just wonder, Elena's capable of going off for 20. We've seen it happen before.
Seen it, yeah.
It's almost like she doesn't feel like she needs to. I mean, she does everything defensively. She does everything. She gets so many rebounds, but any given night, she can just go off from so many different levels.
Brielle Potacek on the 3, a little too soft, but Chase Gilpin in there for the rebound. Chase looking for help, plays it back to Jacobson. Lexi's shot won't go, gets her own rebound, and creeps one in over the front of the rim. Sometimes Lexi Jacobs is ridiculous. She was right there, and she's built this lead to 11. Now she dives on the floor to get a steal, and a foul called on Lexi Jacobson. That is her first.
And if you're not watching on Salina Post, you're missing out. I mean, you're seeing Lexi Jacobson she requires one battery but always has 2 in. I mean, she's just going nonstop all the time. She's somebody your grandparents would love to watch because she's just going and going and going.
11-point lead here by Southeast. They are in full court pressure once again. Here comes Kiera Cochran down the middle of the floor. Now she'll play it out to the right to Sydney Getz. Cochran gets it back, swings it to the left. Ehrlich. Now Eshelman, who's in three-point range, away from the basket. Sacred Heart's going to throw this one away. Turnover number 8 for the Lady Knights.
And you saw the Knights earlier. I mean, I think 2 turnovers in that first quarter, and you're seeing that defense just ramp up, and a lot of that's the fatigue that you're seeing the defense just from Southeast just continues the pressure that's put on you on every single time you dribble the basketball, every single pass you make. There's not an easy pass or an easy dribble. You're starting to see that pay dividends for Southeast.
Jacobson loading up a three from the top of the key. That's going to be an air ball and go to bounds back to Sacred Heart. I love what Brielle Potacek did there because Sacred Heart wanted to D her up one-on-one and try to turn her and be as much of a pest as what they could. Brielle not only got by her defender and past her, but then she kind of creeps to the left trying to get more contact out of her, trying to bait that foul.
Yeah, Brielle's extremely crafty. I mean, she's wise beyond her years, only a sophomore. I think just watching her growth just this year is amazing. I just see an unfortunate block called right there.
So it'll be a 1-and-1. This is the 7th team foul for Southeast of Saline. There will be a Sacred Heart player go to the free throw line. Kiera Cochran will be the shooter, and the foul on Brielle Potacek, her first. Get a little bit of foul trouble here for Southeast. Not much, though. Maddie Harris, Mallory Pearson both have 2 fouls. Nobody for Sacred Heart has more than 1. Cochran's first free throw. It's the front end of a 1-and-1. Is up no good, but she gets her own rebound. Now a traveling violation on the Knights. 9 turnovers for Sacred Heart. 4 of them here in this quarter. Southeast still yet to commit a turnover here in this second period.
You know, and being in a poor foul situation, you know, it's something that Southeast used to. I mean, the defense you play and the amount of people you're running out there, that might happen every once in a while. And I think that's something that, you know, Coach Smith is used to see Avery dial up another 3 from the wing and drills it. That's 9 for Castleman right now.
Avery Castleman with 3 3-pointers. Now Sacred Heart steps out of bounds and gets the ball right back to Southeast of Saline. Southeast continuing to build on this 14-point lead. So the Trojans with a little bit of a wake-up call here in this second quarter with 3 minutes left before half. A full timeout call by Sacred Heart. We'll take it as well. 23-9. Southeast of Saline leads Sacred Heart, and as you listen to it right here on KINA.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Carson Slazner with the basketball out of the timeout. She'll come off to the right-hand side, play it to Yannikopoulos. Now Reagan gets. She'll square up, fire the 3. That won't go. Yannikopoulos in there fighting for the rebound. She cannot get it secured, and Sacred Heart pulls it away. Come the Lady Knights back up the floor. To the right-hand side, early Kaza. Now Sydney Getz in the corner. Getz wants to drive. She'll play it back to Eshelmoon, who's standing in 3-point territory. Boy, just 2 points here for Sacred Heart in this quarter. Now there's a shot up and goes in. That one, a much-needed shot by Kiera Cochran.
Yeah, Cochran's very crafty. She had the ball in the low block right there. Was able to get the shot up. Nice finish from Cochran.
There's a loose ball that's scooped up by Yannikopoulos. She flips it out to Carson Slazner for 3. That won't go. Slazner still without a basket here in this first half. 2:07 left to play. 12-point lead by Southeast of Saline, 23-11. Here's Sydney Getz with a Knight 3-pointer again. Too strong, no good. Madison Ehrlich with the rebound for Sacred Heart. Will stay here on their offensive end. Cochran has it in the middle. Looking at Eshelman on the right. She's played more out away from the basket since Jalen Rowe has come in. Rowe, not a slouch. She averages 5 points, 4 rebounds a game. But so far, they have not been able to get her the ball inside. And Eshelman, who scored 7 points on the left-hand side of the basket in the first quarter, playing out beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, it makes you really wonder what's going on with Sacred Heart. I mean, Avery Eshelman absolutely killed Southeast in the first quarter, and there's been zero emphasis to pound the ball into her, since then.
Some adjustments by Southeast of Saline. choked that down to a minimum. That might be why Sacred Heart's looking elsewhere. Now Eshelman's inside. A little push off there on Slazner as she gets the ball, tries to score, cannot. Now she's pinned underneath the basket, but gets her own rebound. Back out to Cochran. Left-hand side to Ehrlich. Cochran has it again. She whips it to the right. Sydney gets. Now to Weiss, who only has 2 points in this game. She tries a lot of fancy dribbling on Castleman. Castleman is right there defensively. Well, she tried to take that baseline on Avery, and Avery was there to shut her down. Now a step back three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Yanakopoulos with the rebound for Southeast. That was a long possession by the Knights. Takes us down to 1 minute left to go in the quarter. Castleman with it. Now they'll swing it around. Jacobson gets open right wing. 4-3. Won't go. And the rebound taken in down low by Avery Eshelman. 48 seconds left to play in the half. We'll talk to Bryson Flax coming up here at halftime. Also have numbers from the first half of action here. See if Southeast can close it out with a double-digit lead. Right now they lead by 12. Eshelman inside, tried to turn, gets there to tie her up. The ball comes free. Sacred Heart scoops it up. Half a minute left to go. Back top of the circle now to the right-hand side. Another three-pointer on the way. Weiss got one. Katie Weiss for three. That'll cut the Southeast lead back down to 9. Here's Getz now charging to the basket, and a foul called on Sacred Heart. Reagan Getz will go to the free throw line. A shooting foul. She has 2 coming up.
Well, you got to love to see that. I mean, first of all, a great shot by Katie Weiss. So drills the three. There's no hanging heads. Southeast just pushes the ball. Reagan gets herself an opportunity for 2 free throws.
Katie Weiss on the foul. That is her first. Team foul number 5 for Sacred Heart. Gets free throw, rattles off, no good. She'll get another one here. 17 seconds to play. Second free throw on the way. That one also comes off, no good. Eshelman with the rebound. Here comes Sacred Heart. 14 seconds. Weiss has it. Now she fires it back to the middle to Cochran. Weiss has it again. They probably want to have it in her hands there at the end of the quarter. She's guarded by Potacek. Weiss wants to take baseline. She tries to have reverse layup. It's blocked away by Reagan Getz. And now a three-pointer thrown up by Ehrlich at the end of the half. And that's no good. Southeast of Saline will carry a 9-point lead into the locker room at halftime. 23-14 is our score. When we come back, we'll have numbers from the first half. Also a conversation with Bryson Flax. See how the weekend went for the Trojans of Southeast of Saline. It's all coming up on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. 23-14. Southeast of Saline's ladies lead it here at the break on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap. Shot at the horn. Stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Now, let's get back to the gym for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
23-14, Southeast of Saline leads at halftime of the girls contest here on KINA as we get a chance to look ahead to the second game of the night. It's game number 2 of our doubleheader, and our chance to talk to Bryson Flax, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Coach, Friday night you get your 10th victory of the season. You get a clean sweep last week over Republic County and Ellsworth, a couple of league foes. And I know we talk about competition and we talk about what you have to do as far as league play, but just in the grand scheme of things, when you looked at Republic County and Ellsworth going into the week, you had about 10 games left, and they were 4 of your next 10 games. So really good job getting the win against both those, especially with Ellsworth on the road on Friday.
Yeah, and we came out pretty well on in that game, and our defense did what it was supposed to do for the most part. And we still go stretches where we're not as good, and we're continuing to get better and cleaning up the little things. But overall, last week was a good week for us.
How do you think that the team did offensively? You came out and just had a great start in this game. 20-0 was your start. You only give up 2 free throws in the first quarter, so things were good at the end of one. Second quarter, though, they kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, when we feel really comfortable, the ball tends to stick a little more.
Okay.
And when we're moving it and, moving without the basketball and cutting hard, it just makes life easier for everybody, And when it sticks, we get a little complacent, and it's not as good.
Baker's dozen on the night for Nakari Morrickle-Palmer. Eli Sawyers came out. He had 25 points in this game, 22 through the first 3 quarters. Again, turnovers kept down to a minimum. This was one of those games that it got a little helter-skelter at time, but just 7 turnovers for you in this contest. Overall, played pretty well, pretty good with that contest, aren't you?
Yeah, and we offensive rebounded pretty well too.
And,
and so we had a lot of possessions in that game, you touched down on Nakari and Eli, and I thought Luke, with only 3 points, was as good as he's been all season. Defensively on the Cravens kid, and then he had, I think, 7 boards and 6 assists to go along with it, so he was really good. And I thought, Drake had good on-ball pressure on the other kid, making him uncomfortable, and it all just kind of comes together, but I can't say enough about the guys. They, when they're playing well and they're playing together and sharing the basketball, and then on the flip side of that, when they're out there defending hard and rebounding well, we're a tough out. And so
I'm glad you said that about Luke, because that's not something that we always talk about. Obviously, points get a lot of shine and things like that the team does. But, man, when you tell somebody that that's the team's best player and their leading scorer, and he only has 3 points at halftime, 5 points through 3 quarters, and ends up with 7. It's a pretty good night for Luke Gebhard, whether he does anything else or not, isn't it?
Exactly. And truthfully, if he missed the first kind of contested 3 and Luke was going after the board and it got tipped around a little bit and kicked back out to him, or else, he might have gone into halftime with 0. But Luke accepted that and did a really nice job. And it's not an easy task. Cravens kid is really good, but I thought we just bothered them.
We've got a rematch here tonight with Sacred Heart, and this is big for you because it's Sacred Heart. I mean, that's really all the further you need to go. A lot of talking back and forth, and I got to thinking, I've been doing Southeast of Saline sports for 12 years. I don't ever remember winning in Salina. So you and I kind of chatted a little bit, and I went back into the annals of history, and I got to give Chance Potocik some credit because he leaned on our good buddy Larry Mortz, and Larry did some digging, and he found out that it was your senior year. That's what we expected. 2007 was the last time that Southeast of Saline won in this building against Sacred Heart. Do you remember anything about that game? I heard a rumor maybe you had 16 points, and it was
I don't remember.
I got some details.
I remember specifically there was one charge call on this far end. It wasn't by me. It was one of my buddies. I thought he should have given it to me. I could have scored.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that sticks out, but that was something, and I'm sure I returned the favor to him at some point. So.
Yeah, so not only was I told that was the last time that Southeast won this gym, but that was the last time that Southeast swept Sacred Heart during a season and got it in league play. So you have an opportunity to do that tonight. What do you take away from that first game? It's tricky because you guys came out, and it just seemed like everything was working in your favor in that game. You got off to a great start. You buried them early. It was 36-13 at the half. I think everybody can sit here and agree it's not going to be that type of game here tonight. Sacred Heart's been playing pretty well, haven't they?
They have, and you look at their losses, us and TMP.
Yeah.
We're flirting with top 10, that kind of status, and deservedly so. And so they're beating teams they're supposed to beat, and they're competing against others. And truthfully, I think they hadn't played the level of competition that we brought up until then. We kind of shell-shocked their young guys a little bit, and they were really sped up, but they've looked so much better on film, and they're bought in defensively now, and they're really getting after it on the defensive end. And like Brian Gormley teams, they're going to defend you. They're going to be physical with you. And then, if you give them extra opportunities, they're really going to attack you. So
I was going to ask you, is the key to tonight, is it just defending their first shot well and then getting the rebound? Because you really don't want them to have second chance points.
Exactly. You don't. And Disberger is he's a really good offensive rebounder, but he's not the only one. They got some other guys crashing hard. So yes, we need to make the first one uncomfortable, but then go get it and make sure that they don't get shot after shot.
What else do you still want to see from your guys tonight?
Well, I want to see us push the basketball a little more than we did the last two nights. But I mean, the film's out on us, right?
Yeah.
And teams are getting back and they're doing some nice things. But I think we're going to look to spread it out a little bit, probably more so than normal, and see if we can get anything going.
Good luck. We'll talk to you after the game.
Appreciate it.
Bryson Flax, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight trying to get the season sweep of Sacred Heart. Be the first time since 2007. 23-14, we're at halftime of the girls' contest. We'll take a 90-second break and then back with more action. Southeast of Saline leads it at halftime. Lady Trojans 23, Sacred Heart Knights 14 here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
Exit 14 Restaurant in Gypsum, Kansas is cooking up something amazing today. Whether you want to order from our menu or try one of our delicious daily specials, try one of their scrumptious desserts. Exit 14 is open for lunch Tuesday through Saturday 11 to 2 and 5 to 9 Thursday through Saturday. Head out to try Prime Rib Night last Saturday of the month and open for Chicken Dinner Day on the first Sunday of the month. Exit 14, 512 Maple in Gypsum, Kansas. Great people, great food, good time.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School, 23-14 is our score at halftime. So far, the leading scorers, Avery Castleman, 3 threes. If I remember right, she's 3 of 5, 9 points for her, 6 points for Lexi Jacobson off the bench, 4 points for Eleni Yanakopoulos, 2 points for Brielle Potachik, and 2 points for Chase Gilpin. Sacred Heart, 7 points for Avery Eshelman. Eshelman scored their first 7 of the game, 5 points for Katie Weiss, and 2 points for Kiera Cochran. Southeast of Saline will start out with the basketball at a 9-point lead. Tyler, your keys here in the second half.
Well, I think Sacred Heart's doing a really good job staying in this basketball game. Carson Slater has 0 points. And Carson Slater didn't have many games with 0 points. We see Castleman miss a 3 from the wing. I mean, Carson's going to get going here in a second. She a great pass. Castleman and Yanakopoulos on the block. She finishes. But again, maybe there's so much emphasis on Schlesner that there's so many weapons that just kill you so many ways.
That all happened off of a design play for a three-pointer on the left-hand side for Castleman. She missed it, but got her own rebound and was able to scoop it back into Eleni Yanakopoulos, who's having one of her best offensive outputs this year with 6 points. Talk about her a lot. She just hasn't scored, but she hasn't really tried so far in this senior campaign. She does a lot of other things. Inside, Avery Eshelman got an entry pass. She tried to rip it away from Mallory Pearson. They're going to tag Pearson here with her 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. And, we talk about Schlesner all the time. And right now we're seeing Carson, on that set right there. And a lot of the time she's saddled with Eshelman. And you're taking what used to be your biggest offensive weapon and making her play defense on, arguably one of the toughest offensive weapons of Sacred Heart.
There's a foul on Tessa Young. She was into the back of Maddie Harris on that foul call when Maddie Harris was going for the rebound. 25-14 now. Southeast of Saline trying to extend what was a 9-point half-time lead. They led by as many as 14 in that first half. Back out. Here's a pull-up jumper. Maddie Harris, silky smooth, put in the bag. Harris with her first basket of the night.
And again, we don't see Maddie force a lot. It's great. Again, it's just that constant pressure turns Sacred Heart over. But we don't see Maddie force a lot of shots right there. It's kind of her sweet spot, that little 15-footer. She'll drain a lot in the transition game.
27-14. Back to a 13-point lead. A turnover by Sacred Heart gives Southeast of Saline the ball right back. We are on 1:15 into this third quarter. Big crossover by Castleman. She'll find Slazner on the right-hand side. Now Harris, a long baseline shot, is an air ball. It overshoots everything, and Katie Weiss with the rebound. Off to the right now. Young has it back to Weiss. They work it all the way around. Everybody tucking the ball behind the perimeter. They try to go inside to Eshelman. It's taken away by Yannikopoulos. Here comes Elena up the court to Pearson. Pearson with a big crossover. Now it's going to be taken away. Saved out to Slazner, who drops a three. Yannikopoulos is having a great start to this third quarter. She found Carson Slazner, scooped up the loose ball, flipped it out, and Slazner on time was there to bury the three. Now Southeast back on defense with their biggest lead of the game. A great start here to this third quarter. They have outscored Sacred Heart out of the locker room 7-0. 30-14. Sacred Heart working that ball around, trying to find a crack in the defense. There's a baseline drive by Cochran, and they're going to get Carson Slazner for a little nickel and dime hand check foul. That is her first.
Yeah, and it looked like Cochran did a really good job. She saw that there was no help on the baseline. Drove there. Carson didn't have any help. Carson gets called for the hand check. Really, really good call. But Cochran just attacked the bucket right there.
Mallory Pearson came out with those three fouls. Here's a shot put up by Eshelman. No good. Rebound, Avery Castleman. Castleman has the accelerator pinned to the floor. She goes all the way to the cup, draws the blocking foul down low, and Avery going to the free throw line for a couple.
And the growth and development in Avery's game right there, you see her just take the ball to the bucket. She saw that the defender was going to be in trouble. She knew the only way that she's going to get either to the free throw line or rewarded was going strong. She goes, draws the foul, 2 free throws. Great job from Castleman.
Tessa Young on the foul is her third. So now she has 3 for Sacred Heart. Pearson has 3 for Southeast. Castleman misses the first free throw. She has another one coming up.
And again, if we want to, start nitpicking and talk about the bugaboo right here, it's the poor free throw shooting right now. I mean, it's horrible for Southeast Saline.
Yeah, Castleman missed them both. Now a loose ball on the floor. We'll go to the arrow to figure it out, and it's going to go to Sacred Heart. Free throw shooting in this game for Southeast of Saline. They're 2 of 6. Sacred Heart 1 of 2. Full court pressure here by Southeast of Saline. Trying to keep Sacred Heart in the backcourt. Castleman will start it. A hand in, and they're going to call a foul. I'm not even sure how there was an angle there for that official to make that call. We had a pretty good look at it. Obviously, there's a lot of times we can say we didn't have a look at it, but we're courtside here, so we had a pretty good look at it. First foul on Avery Castleman. That's the third team foul already for Southeast of Saline here in this third quarter. Weiss will bring it across the timeline. Picked up by Slazner. Now a trap on the right-hand side of that Sacred Heart offense, and a double dribble call. Trying to get out of that trap. Put the ball on the floor twice. Tessa Young. Turnover number 3.
And again, I think Southeast is a pretty difficult team to officiate. You talk about the old Bob Huggins or, the Bob Huggins West Virginia teams. They just get after you full court. They get after you so hard, man-to-man defense. They're so aggressive. There's a lot of fouls. You're either going to call them all or you're not. You see Slazner miss the layup.
Potacek for 3, top of the circle. That one rims off no good. Slazner had her left hand in there, and now Eshelman starts swinging the ball to get it free, and Sacred Heart's going to take it away. 4:47 left to play third quarter. 30-14. Sacred Heart trailing. They have the ball. Ehrlich up top. She'll play it to the right. Trying to look inside again at Eshelman, but Reagan gets in there now. Trying to play deny defense and keep the ball out of her hands. Here's Getz, little ball fake up top. Now they swing it back out. Hannah Hoffman has it. Now back to Weiss. I think we can give a lot of credit to Southeast of Saline's defense because there's been a lot of possessions just like this where Sacred Heart comes down the floor, they run 30 to 45 seconds of offense, and they turn it over.
Yeah, and again, we talk about, how much credit needs to be given to the Southeast offense for the success they've had, but it all starts with defense, Devin. I mean, it flusters teams. I mean, they don't know what to do, and then all of a sudden, you're running more numbers at them. It's the amount of people that are playing. And the one thing we haven't seen is nobody other than Avery's gotten hot tonight. And, the last couple of nights we've seen 2 or 3 players, nice backdoor cut, great finish from Slasner, Castleman to Slasner with the layup, great left hand. But that's the one thing we haven't just seen get going yet.
Carson kept the body between the defender and the ball and went with the left hand on that basket. 32-14. Now to an 18-point advantage. Sacred Heart with the basketball back again. They have not scored here in this third quarter. It's been a choking style of defense here by Southeast once again. There's 2 guards working on the right-hand side for Sacred Heart. They're going to put a shot up that's no good. Lexi Jacobson with the rebound. She'll find Slasner, who passes it. Long pass up the floor to Castleman. Avery for 3. Rips the net again. Avery Castleman with 12 on 4 3-pointers, and Sacred Heart calls a timeout. 3:17 left to go here in the third quarter. It's a full timeout for the Knights as Southeast of Saline's pulling away here on KINA.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure all our Trojans are fueled up for the big game. Whether you're on the field or in the stands, start with a full tank of gas for your car or your belly. Get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough stamina to get that Trojan win. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School in Salina. Devin Haney, Tyler Smith, Brian Dennett on video. If you want to watch and look in on this one along with the radio broadcast on SalinaPost.com, that's brought to you by Salina Ortho. Also Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering this whole circus. Right now, Southeast of Saline leading 35-14 over Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart trying to get it up across the timeline, and with that full court defense as they come out of a full timeout and try to figure this out. Sacred Heart has not been able to score in this third quarter. 3 minutes left to go. They get it into Eshelman. She missed the shot. Yannikopoulos there to grab the rebound. Here comes Elena. Cross-court pass to Reagan Getz. Getz into the paint. Goes at a defender. Right-handed layup. Good! Reagan Getz made the defender choose. Either you're going to stop me or stop my friend who's down here on the left-hand side of the basket. The defender went with the friend, and Reagan Getz all the way through to the cup.
Yeah, and we saw Getz had an open 20-footer, and it looked like she wanted to pull it. But right there, you talked about earlier, fall in love with a 3. Getz did a great job attacking the bucket, and like you said, made the defender choose. Great finish from the junior.
Southeast continues to pour it on here. They are winning this third quarter 14-0 with 2:20 left to go in the period. There's a drive now and a foul. Reagan Getz sneaking in on that one, trying to be sneaky and get it away, and she's going to get tagged with a foul. For Reagan, that is just her first. It is the 4th team foul on Southeast of Saline. Chase Gilpin checks back into the game for Southeast. Eleni Yannikopoulos will come out for a break.
And again, it's just more and more weapons getting thrown on the court for the Trojans right now.
2:13 left to go. They swing it around. Sacred Heart working beyond the perimeter. I often wonder, I think we talk about shutouts more in football than what you do other sports. But this Southeast team, what's the chatter going on the bench right now? When you go into sub, is it, man, I got to keep the shutout going? Because right here in the third, they have given up no points. Real Patacha got whistled for a travel that I'm not sure existed.
Yeah, tough call on Brielle right there. No, you're exactly right. That's got to start going. Defense is contagious. You just see how hard people play. You're not going to get on the floor unless you're playing defense and you're playing your butt off, and that's exactly what happens to this team, and it just grows. It manifests itself. Great shot right there.
Megan Torrey into the game. That's her first basket. She did not play in the first meeting.
Great shot right there from 18 feet.
That really gets the lid off the basket for Sacred Heart as now they turn Southeast of Saline over. These last two possessions for Southeast with a turnover. Their first turnover since the first quarter. They have 7 for the game. 37-16. 1:20 left to go here in the third period. Here's a guarded three now by Kira Cochran. That's no good. Reagan Getz was standing right in front of her. Rebound taken in by Lexi Jacobson. Off to Maddie Harris. Harris now to Potacik. Transition three. Good. Brielle Potacik takes the three. 3 3-pointers by Southeast of Saline in this third period alone. 40-16.
Yes.
Oh. Brielle Potacik playing superb defense. Got shoved off. They're going to call a foul on Brielle.
That is textbook defense from Brielle Potacik.
Yep.
She did so many things so well, and Coach Smith that's exactly how she teaches her girls to play defense. Great defense from number 2.
Just because there's contact doesn't mean there's always a defensive foul. That was really good defense by the sophomore, Brielle Potacik. Inside a minute left to go now for Southeast of Saline to continue this shutdown effort. They've only given up 2 points here in the third. They've had whole halves this year where they don't give up any points. Remember Republic County a week ago? That was the third and fourth quarter with a big old goose egg. Here's a big rebound by Chase Gilpin. She had position, jumped and met the ball, and drew the foul from Sacred Heart. What a rebound by Chase.
Well, and Devin, we talk about this all the time, and Chase just gives this team that attitude down low. I mean, she grabbed that rebound. Great hands, great positioning, great job from Chase to get that basketball, get it going back to the Trojans.
40-16. Southeast of Saline trying to close it out here. Jacobson gets Pearson back into the game. Potacik and Gilpin. Clock down to 22. Brielle Potacik up top, middle of the floor, right between the rings. Playing catch with Mallory Pearson. Southeast has something on their minds here. Now they're going to start motion with 12 seconds left to go. Over to Getz, right-hand side. Now back to Potacik again with 7 seconds left. Back to Pearson. Now to Brielle. Potacik goes behind her back. Now back into the lane. Hanging jumper. She draws the foul with 1/10 of a second left. That was a fancy move by Brielle Potacik. She drew the defender out away from the lane, went between her back, changed hands on the dribble, and then went right back at that defender and was able to get the foul.
Well, Devin, we rarely see Brielle just flustered. She's so cool and calm with the basketball. She misses the first free throw right there, but when she's got the basketball, she's confident. She knows exactly what's going on. She knew how much time was left on the clock.
By the way, that was Sacred Heart's probably best player, Katie Weiss, trying to defend that. Free throw good by Brielle Potacik. She missed the first, made the second, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 41-16, a dominant third quarter of action for Southeast of Saline's Lady Trojans. They lead it big. It's a 25-point advantage as we go to the fourth right here on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
Kansas Wesleyan University offers great nursing education options with a BS major in nursing and an RN to BSN program. KWU recently opened a brand new $5 million nursing education center that features state-of-the-art simulation rooms and next-generation classroom equipment designed to take the educational experience to the next level. Wonderful scholarships and opportunities to gain experience are available. Want to know more? Check out kwu.edu/nursing today. That's kwu.edu/nursing.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
Devin, Tyler, Brian, Sam, all back here at Southeast of Saline. Sacred Heart, it's in town at Sacred Heart High School. Fourth quarter, Southeast of Saline with the basketball and a huge lead that they built in that third quarter. Castleman starts it out with 3. That won't go. Schlesinger down low with the rebound and a foul call. Southeast of Saline, Tyler, in that third quarter of action, 18-2 out of the locker room.
You kind of want to wonder what was talked about at halftime. They locked down defensively. They've been doing that all night. It's just that they stopped Eshelman as we see Castleman 3 from the baseline. Why not?
Avery Castleman is ripping the nets as she has 5 3-pointers now in this game. 15 points for the junior Avery Castleman. That is her season high. She scored 12 on 3 different occasions this season. She scored 12 against Beloit, had 12 at Abilene, and also had 12 against Ellsworth just Friday night.
You're starting to add these up. I mean, Avery's no one-trick pony anymore. I mean, she's an offensive weapon. We've talked about what she can do defensively. Avery Castleman's turned herself in, as we see, really hard foul right there. She's using an easy bucket. That's, Kiera Cochran's going up for it. Really hard foul from Castleman, all in the game of play. But Avery Castleman's turned herself into a player that you have to game plan against. You can't let her just go off and do her thing or she will kill you.
That's not a bad foul by Avery because she lost one of her teammates. Maddie Harris stumbled over here and got her feet tangled up and fell down. So she was out of the play, and Avery was taking on 2 different Sacred Heart players. So she just committed a foul there. Make Kiera Cochran go to the free throw line to try to earn those.
And how important is that, just to know the game? I mean, the score is one thing, but at some point in the basketball game, you have to understand that if you're going to give up an easy layup, you've got to, give yourself up and make that a difficult 2 as opposed to an easy 2.
Good job by Cochran. She makes both of those free throws at the line. Here's a drive by Yannikopoulos. That's no good. And a rebound tie-up by Mallory Pearson. She is sharing possession with a Sacred Heart player, and it goes the other way to the Knights. They have the arrow. 44-18. Back into the game. Sydney Getz for Sacred Heart. She'll play it over to Tessie Young. Here's a poke away and a steal by Maddie Harris. Harris coming at the rim, goes towards the defender, gets the basket and the block. Boy, she went right at Tessie Young that time. Actually, that was Tessie Young. Went right at her. And Maddie Harris got the basket and is also able to go to the free throw line.
Well, you could hear Coach Reedy and Coach Smith, saying we're going man-to-man half court. And I think at some point they just love going man-to-man. And you love just testing your players. Let's go. You're going to get to half court. You're going to go man-to-man. And guess what? That's not easy for an offense to deal with when you have 5 Trojans grinding in, heels in the dirt, if you want to say, and just playing tough man-to-man defense.
Southeast after the 3-point play by Maddie Harris. That gives her 5. Also gives Southeast of Saline a 29-point lead. They are on the cusp of that 30-point night. And now a ball that goes into the backcourt by Sacred Heart. They're going to touch it first, and a backcourt violation for their 6th turnover of the half.
And Devin, I know that the NCAA doesn't give out Player of the Years. If you give out a Player of the Year the last 2 years, it's unquestionably Carson Slazer, and you're coming into Sacred Heart. You're up 47-18. Slazer has 5.
And went the first half scoreless.
Yeah, and again, that's the scary thing about this. Carson's just taking what they give her. She's playing. She handles the ball so well. There's not a lot of turnovers as she turns it over right there. That happens all the time when you start talking about it. It's what she's doing on the defensive side, which is so impressive. We've seen her guard, we've seen her guard Cochran, we've seen her guard Weiss, we've seen her drop down and guard Eshelman. She's doing so many things that just go unseen. She's just, like we've always said, she's like the mother of this team. She makes sure that everything is running well, and if they aren't, she'll step in and take care of things.
Rebounding numbers going up. Steals going up. As a shot up and in by Madison Ehrlich.
Yeah, Ehrlich buries a 3 from the wing.
They call that a 3? Just a 2. There's a loose ball poked in the backcourt. Slazer goes and runs it down. That was off a Sacred Heart player. There's Yannikopoulos to the free throw line, trying to go out to Castleman on the right-hand side. Like maybe Elena got slapped in the face there. They're going to say charging foul on Avery Castleman as she was going to the lane.
Yeah, Avery did a really good job attacking the lane. Looked like, according to the official, had Avery Eshelman at her feet set. Avery Eshelman, give props to her, standing in the lane, staying in the lane with Castleman charging at you full speed. Ball goes to Sacred Heart.
Yannikopoulos will come out, rigging Getz back in. So it's Pearson, Getz, Slazner, Harris, and Castleman up top. 5 minutes left to go. 47-20 is our score. Cochran with the basketball, guarded by Castleman. Now she'll switch directions, go left-hand side, and the ball's out of bounds. Turnover number 7 for Sacred Heart here in this half.
And again, it looked like an easy entry pass, just getting that offense going. But when things just start rolling and rolling and rolling, the defense is always on you. The easiest things aren't always easy.
Castleman with it. Here's a backdoor cut by Slazner. She's in traffic. She'll play it back out to Harris, who goes to a knee but keeps dribbling the whole time. Now out to Getz. Harris wants the three. Top of the key. Off to the left-hand side. No good. Now the pursuit of the rebound. It's going to be won by Sacred Heart. Pearson had a chance, but she was shielded off by a body. Now Sacred Heart brings it back the other side. 4:19 left to play. Sydney Getz up top, and they're going to call a foul here on, is it Mallory Pearson? Yes, it is. Pearson with a smile on her face as she commits her fourth foul. She has 4. Tessa Young has 4 for Sacred Heart. 47-20 is our score.
And that might be the end for Harrison Castleman right there. Start getting some other. And here's the problem: when you roll 9 deep, I mean, you start giving people time off. You're just rolling with. You just brought 2 starters in. Or sorry, 1 starter and then Lexi Jacobson, who by all means would start for every other team in the league right now.
Jacobson still working her way back from injury, but she's had a sudden impact on the Southeast of Saline team, rebounding and scoring about a half a dozen through her first couple of games back. Here's a mean crossover by Reagan Getz. She is fouled and will go to the free throw line. See if Southeast can knock some free throws down here.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there's only game time, and we discussed this before. You know, pressure game situations is the only time you can actually practice these things. A 48-20 lead doesn't really give you those opportunities. However, every time you bury one, that's confidence, right?
Reagan Getz makes the first one. Second one on the way. Looked just like the first. She got them both. 4 points in this game for Reagan Getz. And again, Southeast back on the cusp of that 30-point rule, but there's 4:06 left to go in the quarter right now. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll take it as well. 49-20. Southeast of Saline leads it midway through the fourth here on KINA.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump, Todd Riley, and Timothy Hawks, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
4 minutes left to play. Out of the timeout, Sacred Heart with the basketball. Southeast of Saline with the lead, 49-20. Southeast of Saline playing defense here. Sacred Heart working it around. Eshelman has it beyond the three-point line. Now she passes it to the right-hand side to Sydney Getz. Getz, loose ball, taken away. Brielle Potacek. Here comes Brielle up the floor. Little bit of a crossover. She taps the brakes. Now gets by the defender. Into the lane. Stop. Hangs. Shoots. Off the front of the rim. No good. Brielle in attack mode there. Couldn't get that two-pointer to go down. Now left-hand side. Megan Torrey with it. They'll bring it all the way around now. Everybody touching the ball for the Knights. Hannah Hoffman on the right wing. Now back to Torrey. Torrey holding the ball. She goes back to Sydney Getz. A lot of action beyond the three-point line here. Now finally a shot up by the Knights, and it's good. Megan Torrey, a three-pointer. She has 5. Again, did not play in the first meeting between these two teams. Here's Potacek again driving to the paint, puts up an elbow jumper. That's no good. Chase Gilpin fighting for the rebound down low, and it's going to be off Sacred Heart and stay here with Southeast.
Yeah, again, despite the score, I mean, you're seeing every single loose ball is contested for. There's players going after it either way. As we see, nice entry pass. Gilpin bounced it off her toe. Potacek with it on the baseline.
Kick out for Jacobson for 3. In and out, no good. And another rebound down low by Brielle Potacek. Brielle might be in a little bit of trouble here, and Shauna Smith's going to call a timeout to award her sophomore for going after that rebound. Oh, got a foul. Okay. So the foul came first on Sydney Getz. That is her first. Brielle Potacek to the free throw line.
You're always in the situations. You see Coach Smith trying to call a timeout up 26. Math might be bad. Now 27. But you're always working on things, right? I mean, you're always thinking, if I have a player that's, gets a rebound late in the game, what are we going to work on? What's our inbounds play going to be from the baseline? You've always got to be working on things. You've always got to think about the next game as you see Potocnik bury the second. At times fans are thinking, why are you calling a timeout there? But you're not worried about today. You're worried about the season.
2 free throws by Brielle Potocnik. The sophomore has 8. 51-23 the count now with 2:29 left to go. Ball squirts out of bounds. It's off Potocnik as she tried to steal it away once again. Sacred Heart will keep it. They'll inbound in front of their own bench.
Well, Devin, the sophomore has 8, but what the sophomore's doing on the perimeter defensively, I mean, she just puts her hands back and her feet play all the defense. You see Reagan Getz do a great job tying up the basketball as Potocnik forces her to the middle.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about that during the break in the second quarter. Brielle's just taking the primary ball handler for Sacred Heart and just locking her down with feet defense. That's what I like to call that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what I'm assuming you teach it. I've never gotten to this high a level of being that good a defensive coach, but goodness gracious. I mean, Brielle's doing everything you need her to do on the perimeter.
2 minutes left. Southeast with it on their end. Lexi Jacobson went to the baseline, lost the basketball, then ends up in a tie-up situation, and the arrow in favor of Sacred Heart. 51-23. Southeast of Saline looking to notch their 11th victory of the season, also their 6th victory in league play. We haven't talked about a whole lot, but if this continues to remain true, Southeast of Saline girls basketball, this will be 20 consecutive NCAA wins in league play where they have just went on a heck of a run.
When I want to say 20 consecutive, and I think maybe February 4th will be 2 years since they last lost a league game. And you start putting years, in your since the last time you lost a league game, that's when you start dominating the league. And that means you have several classes coming through. And that means, you're also bringing several classes through and teaching them how to win.
Here's a steal by Chase Gilpin. Emma Zerflu is also into the game. Potocnik has it across the center court stripe. 1:25 left to go. Left-hand side to Jacobson. Now out to Zerflu, top of the key. And a holding foul will be called here against Sacred Heart. Looks like they're going to give the foul to Hannah Hoffman, judging by her reaction, and Reagan Getz will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
I saw Potocnik fly through the lane at one point. She looked at the official and just smiled. And then later on, the foul was called on Reagan Getz. You can still see Brielle kind of smiling. A lot of contact might go on late in games like this. It's always tough for officials. Like we say, these games are never easy to officiate just when you have a rivalry like this. But then also, I think we can also say that Southeast games are always difficult to officiate because of the amount of pressure they're going to put on you.
Getz with the first free throw, successful. Second one also down. So Reagan, a little bit of an adventurous night from the free throw line. She missed her first 2 free throw attempts in this game back early second quarter. Since then, though, she's made 4 in a row. She has a half a dozen tonight.
And that's huge because I don't know she's probably the most dangerous Southeast player that can get to the line. She can take it from the perimeter. She's strong enough to get to the free throw line just by her great moves getting down low. Great pass from Eshelman right there, as we see to Jalen Rowe. But, going back to Getz, Getz can do so many things from the outside to the inside. If she's hitting free throws, she's dangerous.
Here's a drive on the right-hand side by Kimber Orgazolka, and a shot up and good.
And then Potocnik from the baseline. So there, we talk about it. Potocnik is just good for 9 or 10 every night now. I think that's kind of the staple.
Yeah.
She's only averaging 4 or 5 a game, but, the amount of playing time she started getting lately because of what she's doing on the defensive side, she's a spark offensively, and she's showing that right now.
Back to a 30-point advantage now. The clock, we haven't had a whistle, but it's not going to stop if we do have a whistle. And things are winding down to the end here. 19 seconds left to go. Here's a three-pointer by Sacred Heart. That's no good. Rebound being fought for. It's on the floor. Sacred Heart player, also a Southeast player. And the arrow will say it is Southeast of Saline basketball. And they're fighting for it for Southeast. Freshman Emma Zerflu. And the clock continuing to run. That will be the final score. 55-25, our final. Southeast of Saline takes care of business here on the road. They go to 11-3 now on the season. They are 6-0 in league play. Sacred Heart now drops below the 500 mark. They're 6-7 overall and 2-4 in league play. 20 consecutive league wins for Southeast of Saline. Girls basketball with a 55-25 victory over their rivals in Salina, the Sacred Heart Lady Knights. When we come back, final numbers from this game. Also a Verdon Jewelers gem of the game. That's all coming up. When we come back, it's a 30-point win for Southeast of Saline's ladies right here on KINA.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire-related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North Ninth, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
The name is JJ Lawn Care, but don't let the name fool you. It's not just lawns they care about, it's their customers. JJ Lawn Care is a locally owned business that works with people in and around Salina on more than just lawns. Warm weather is winding down. Fertilizing and winterizing your lawn and removing those pesky leaves can be a real chore. Let JJ Lawn Care come to the rescue for your fescue. Give Jathan a call today at 820-7728. JJ Lawn Care. Caring for more than just your lawn.
Generations of confidence, relationships for life. Since establishing business in 1887, the Bank of Tuscany has built its reputation on personal service and community promotion. Family owned and locally operated in communities of Tuscany, Lincoln, Saline, and Lynchburg. The Bank of Tuscany strives to provide customers with a competitive array of loan and deposit products that aid in their financial success. Visit us today and see why so many people have helped the Bank of Tuscany become one of the strongest banks in Kansas. Bank of Tuscany, member FDIC.
We're growing your way. We're the Bank of Tuscany.
Stardust Trophy in downtown Salina is your full-service headquarters for trophies and awards for club and sporting events. But did you know Stardust Trophies also makes employee name tags with your company logo? They engrave executive awards like desk clocks and pen desk sets. They imprint artwork and photos on t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, even personal calculators. Stardust Trophy carries clear sports ball holders on wood bases for treasured or autographed balls from footballs to golf balls. Go to Full Service Stardust Trophy, 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
Time now for the Trojan postgame show on KINA. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan basketball on KINA.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School, a big dominant victory for Southeast of Saline, especially in the second half, 55-25, our final score. As Southeast of Saline has a huge third quarter, 18-2 in the third quarter, 32-11 in the third and fourth quarters combined to pull away and win by 30 after leading by 9 at the break. Final numbers for you. Avery Castleman tonight was sensational, 15 points for her. Also in double digits for Southeast of Saline, Brielle Potachik with 10 points, as those two offensively really led the way, but we saw a lot of good offense tonight, Tyler, from Southeast of Saline's girls. It was some backdoor cuts, it was some things down low, it was dribble drive penetration, it was stop and pop in the lane. I mean, we saw a lot of good offense tonight by Southeast of Saline, who really never got the transition game going and a chance to get those steals and get layups. It was all kind of in their half-court set.
Yeah, it was kind of the whole bag of tricks without that transition game that we've grown so accustomed to. And, you know, I think at times it's got to be a relief to Coach Smith. You know, we see them just dominate so many times defensively and lead to so many easy buckets. It was nice to see buckets coming another way. You know, you're seeing them, like you said, within the flow of the offense. And then, again, Avery Castleman is just – she's changing the way you have to defend this team. You know, we talk about Slazer and we talk about, you know, everything that she's doing that's kind of going, you know, unseen. I guarantee you the night that a team decides that they're going to, you know, start giving Avery Castleman a ton of attention, and they do their entire game plan against Avery, which will happen because if Castleman continues to do this, all of a sudden Carson's going to go off. And that's the fun thing. And then you still have a Maddie Harris. You still have Brielle Potachik. You still have Reagan Getz that's capable of giving you whatever any given night. You have, you know, Kopolis. You have Pearson. Gosh darn. I mean, you always talk about how you want your teams peaking at these times. Devin, this team just continues. And you can talk about whatever you want offensively. It's good. They're peaking defensively, and they continue to get better and better, and that's the fun thing about them.
You talk about Carson Slazer. We mentioned she didn't have any points in the first half. Not only that, though, in this game, there were 4 other girls that scored more points than Carson Slazner on her team. And you have 55 points and you win by 30. That's a blessing. When you look at the scoring, we talked about Avery Castleman with 15, 10 points for Brielle Potacek. Also, 6 points for Eleni Yanakopoulos. That's a season high for her in her senior year. 6 points for Lexi Jacobson. That's what she's been doing since she came back from injury. She scores a half a dozen now every game. 5 points for Maddie Harris. 5 points for Carson Slazner. 10 points, or excuse me, I already said 10 points for Brielle Potacek. 2 points for Chase Gilpin. It was kind of everybody got a slice of the pie and everybody was happy. And, oh, by the way, just when you and I decided to point out that they've been very poor free throw shooters, in the fourth quarter they go 7 for 7 and they're 10 of 14 for the contest. So everything just kind of put together tonight for Southeast of Saline. When you look at Sacred Heart, 7 points for Avery Eshelman. Those were the first 7 points of the game for Sacred Heart. She did not score after the first quarter. 5 points for Katie Weiss, 5 points for Megan Torrey, 4 points for Kiara Cochran, 2 points for Madison Ehrlich, and 2 points for Jalen Rowe. As I said, Southeast of Saline, 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Sacred Heart, 3 out of 5. Southeast of Saline with 10 turnovers in this contest. Remember, they started with 5 in the first quarter. They only committed 5 after that. They had no turnovers in the second quarter. They forced Sacred Heart into 20 turnovers in this game on their way to a 55-25 victory. Vernon Jewelers, gym of the game tonight, Avery Castleman, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, she set the tone extremely early on, and she changed kind of the way the game was played. You know, you had to come out to her, but every time that she got the ball, and we saw her kind of get in that cradle we talk about, when Avery gets it and the feet are set, she's dangerous. But Devin, you know, like we said during the game, she is no longer just an offensive weapon. I mean, she is going to lock you down defensively. She's as dangerous defensively as she is offensively. She's played herself into an all league role. She's the type of player you can count on night in and night out, whether the offense is going or whether it's not. She just did a great job tonight.
So that'll do it. 55-25. Our final here for the girls. Southeast of Saline now 11 wins on the season. They are 6-0 in league play. Sacred Heart 6-7 on the season. They are 2-4 in league play. Our Vernon Jewelers gym of the game today, Avery Castleman with 15 points. And for Avery, that is a new season high. Let's turn the corner now. Get ready for the boys contest. Should be a good one. It's game number 2 of our doubleheader as Southeast of Saline visits Sacred Heart. We're about 12 and a half minutes away from starters and the tip. Game number 2 coming up after this on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
For nearly 40 years, Home Automotive Center has taken pride in taking care of the people of our community. And if you're interested in selling your car, we can help you with that too, with the Home Automotive Center buyback program. It's the easiest way to get the best price for your car. So when you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. Simply bring your car to either dealership in Abilene or Salina, and we'll get you taken care of, because that's what we do best. Get your best price with the Home Automotive Center buyback program in Abilene and Salina. You'll be glad you did.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, Pellet Girls, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for confidential support.
As we get a chance to look ahead to the second game of the night. It's game number 2 of our doubleheader, and our chance to talk to Bryson Flax, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Coach, Friday night you get your 10th victory of the season. You get a clean sweep last week over Republic County and Ellsworth, a couple of league foes. And I know we talk about competition and we talk about what you have to do as far as league play, but just in the grand scheme of things, when you looked at Republic County and Ellsworth going into the week, you had about 10 games left, and they were 4 of your next 10 games. So really good job getting the win against both those, especially with Ellsworth on the road on Friday.
Yeah, and we came out pretty well on the in that game, and our defense did what it was supposed to do for the most part. And we still go stretches where we're not as good, and we're continuing to get better and cleaning up the little things. But overall, last week was a good week for us.
How do you think that the team did offensively? You came out and just had a great start in this game. 20-0 was your start. You only give up 2 free throws in the first quarter, so things were good at the end of one. Second quarter, though, they kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, when we feel really comfortable, the ball tends to stick a little more.
Okay.
And when we're moving it and, moving without the basketball and cutting hard, it just makes life easier for everybody, And when it sticks, we get a little complacent, and it's not as good.
Baker's dozen on the night for Nakari Morkel-Palmer. Eli Sawyers came out. He had 25 points in this game, 22 through the first 3 quarters. Again, turnovers kept down to a minimum. This was one of those games that it got a little helter-skelter time, but just 7 turnovers for you in this contest. Overall, played pretty well, pretty good with that contest, aren't you?
Yeah, and we offensive rebounded pretty well too. And so we had a lot of possessions in that game, you touched down on Nakari and Eli, and I thought Luke, with only 3 points, was as good as he's been all season. Defensively on the Cravens kid, and then he had, I think, 7 boards and 6 assists to go along with it, so he was really good. And I thought, Drake had good on-ball pressure on the other kid, making him uncomfortable, and it all just kind of comes together, but I can't say enough about the guys. They, when they're playing well and they're playing together and sharing the basketball, and then on the flip side of that, when they're out there defending hard and rebounding well, we're a tough out. And so
I'm glad you said that about Luke, because that's not something that we always talk about. Obviously, points get a lot of shine and things like that the team does. But, man, when you tell somebody that that's the team's best player and their leading scorer, and he only has 3 points at halftime, 5 points through 3 quarters, and ends up with 7. It's a pretty good night for Luke Gebhardt, whether he does anything else or not, isn't it?
Exactly. And truthfully, if he missed the first kind of contested 3 and Luke was going after the board and it got tipped around a little bit and kicked back out to him, or else, he might have gone into halftime with 0. But Luke accepted that and did a really nice job. And it's not an easy task. Craven's kid is really good, but I thought we just bothered him.
It's got a rematch here tonight with Sacred Heart, and this is big for you because it's Sacred Heart. I mean, that's really all the further you need to go. A lot of talking back and forth, and I got to thinking, I've been doing Southeast of Saline sports for 12 years. I don't ever remember winning in Salina. So you and I kind of chatted a little bit, and I went back into the annals of history, and I got to give Chance Potocik some credit because he leaned on our good buddy Larry Mortz, and Larry did some digging, and he found out that it was your senior year. That's what we expected. 2007 was the last time the Southeast of Saline won in this building against Sacred Heart. Do you remember anything about that game? I heard a rumor maybe you had 16 points, and it was
I don't remember.
I got some details.
I remember specifically there was one charge call on this far end. It wasn't by me. It was one of my buddies. I thought he should have given it to me. I could have scored.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that sticks out, but that was something, and I'm sure I returned the favor to him at some point. So.
Yeah, so not only was I told that was the last time that Southeast won this gym, but that was the last time that Southeast swept Sacred Heart during a season and got it in league play. So you have an opportunity to do that tonight. what do you take away from that first game? It's tricky because you guys came out, and it just seemed like everything was working in your favor in that game. You got off to a great start. You buried them early. It was 36-13 at the half. I think everybody can sit here and agree it's not going to be that type of game here tonight. Sacred Heart's been playing pretty well, haven't they?
They have, and you look at their losses, us and TMP.
Yeah.
We're flirting with top 10, that kind of status, and deservedly so. And so they're beating teams they're supposed to beat, and they're competing against others. And truthfully, I think they hadn't played the level of competition that we brought up until then. We kind of shell-shocked their young guys a little bit, and they were really sped up. But they've looked so much better on film, and they're bought in defensively now, and they're really getting after it on the defensive end. And like Brian Gormley teams, they're going to defend you. They're going to be physical with you, and then if you give them extra opportunities, they're really going to attack you. So
I was going to ask you, is the key to tonight, is it just defending their first shot well and then getting the rebound? Because you really don't want them to have second chance points.
Exactly. You don't. And Disberger's he's a really good offensive rebounder, but he's not the only one. They got some other guys crashing hard. So yes, we need to make the first one uncomfortable, but then go get it and make sure that they don't get shot after shot.
What else you still want to see from your guys tonight?
Well, I want to see us push the basketball a little more than we did the last two nights. But I mean, the film's out on us, right? Yeah. And teams are getting back, and they're doing some nice things. But I think we're going to look to spread it out a little bit, probably more so than normal, and see if we can get anything going.
Good luck. We'll talk to you after the game.
Appreciate it.
Bryson Flax, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight trying to get the season sweep of Sacred Heart. It'll be the first time since 2007.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at salinapaintballcomplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
When termites strike your home or business, you want to fight back with the best. Hasman Termite and Pest Control to the rescue. With over 57 years experience, they offer the best of options, including the new BASF High Precision Injection Treatment. Don't let termites get you down. With one phone call to Hasman's, they can put one in the win column for you. Call Hasman Termite and Pest Control today or visit HasmanTermite.com and follow them on Facebook. Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School, Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith getting ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader. Southeast of Saline girls won 53-23. Now it's the guys' turn, Tyler, and curious to hear your input on this. This was a game that, it almost went perfect for Southeast the first meeting, didn't it? I mean, the shots were going down. Sacred Heart had trouble shooting. Southeast was getting 1 rebound and run-outs. And that was just a game, I think, as I told Coach Flax in our pregame interview, I think we can all agree this game is not going to go exactly like that one.
No, it's exactly what we talked about in the girls' game kind of leading up to it. Like, how are you going to handle adversity? There's no way things are going to go that perfectly, to start off. But my favorite thing about this matchup is, if you read everything and you hear everything, Sacred Heart's strength is their youth. And you just talk about how young they are. And then you turn the page and Southeast Saline is extremely young as well. You won't see a senior other than Alex Disberger, who's an absolute stud for Sacred Heart. You won't see a senior really, take a lot of time up on the court tonight. This is a great heavyweight matchup. I mean, these are two teams. There's, looking at the record, I think there's maybe, doing the math, there's 5 losses between these two teams. I mean, they're just used to winning. These are great programs, tradition-rich. We're in for a fun evening tonight.
10-2 for the Sacred Heart Knights. And they only have 1 league loss. That came on the campus of SES. Back the last game right before holiday break. So as we get all set for this one, we're going to step away one last time. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups for you and the tip. Southeast and Sacred Heart after this on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
PRP, or Platelet-Rich Plasma Injection Therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
Troublesome car repair? Everyone has told you it cannot be fixed or it's way too expensive? Try McKim Auto Service in Gypsum, Kansas. They do quick, dependable work and provide the lowest hourly rate in the area. McKim Auto will service your vehicle from front to back and everything in between. They treat you and your car like a friend or even family. McKim Service specializes in engine and transmission rebuilds. 701 Maple, Gypsum, Kansas. Wouldn't trust anyone else with my family car. So, if your repair seems grim, remember McKim. Give them a call today to make your appointment.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina. This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Getting ready for starting lineups being introduced right now. Let's first go over to the Sacred Heart Knights under the direction of Brian Gormley. The Knights come in 10-2 overall, 4-1 in league play. Michael Matucci is a 5'9 sophomore guard. Evan Bogart, a 6'2 sophomore. Alex Disberger, a 6'4 senior. Max Ehrlich, a 5'10 sophomore. And 6'2 sophomore Jason Mars. Mars is the lone piece in the starting lineup that did not start in the first meeting between these two teams. For head coach Bryson Flax and the Southeast of Saline Trojans, they're 10-3, 5-0 in league play. They will start a bunch of juniors. Eli Sawyer's a 6'5 junior, averages 18 points a game. Nakari Morkel Palmer, a 6'2 junior, averages 13 points a game and 9 boards. Drake Augustine, a 5'10 junior, 4.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Luke Gebhardt, a 6'1 junior, averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds a game. And the lone sophomore in the starting lineup is Daniel Kerr, a 5'10 sophomore, averaging 3 points and a rebound and an assist per contest. Southeast of Saline, along with Bryson Flax, is coached by Trent Douglas and also Joe Ross. They will be wearing their road purple jerseys against the Sacred Heart Knights. And this is a building that Southeast of Saline on the boys' side has not won in, Tyler Smith, since 2007. When Bryson Flax, their head coach now, was a senior in high school. So this is we already saw a big monkey the Southeast was able to get off their backs. I think it was 2008 maybe, since they won at home. They got that off their backs earlier this year with a big victory, 60-39. Now they're going to try to come into Salina and get the season sweep. What do you think? What are your keys to success here?
Yeah, it's how do you handle your emotions? I mean, obviously you haven't won in this place, since 2007, and there's a reason for that. I mean, this is it's a rabid environment. I mean, the student section's great. It's a small gym. It's kind of joked about. It's kind of a junior high gym. There's always great teams, and Brian Gormley, his teams play with so much intensity. I mean, how do you handle, the pressure of tonight? It's gonna be fun to see these two teams go at it.
Nakari Morkel-Palmer in that first meeting between these two teams was sensational. They tried to lob it at the rim. He goes up, almost had it, but he was stripped away, and a turnover here for Southeast of Saline on the first possession. Sacred Heart peels it away. They're wearing their white home jerseys trimmed in gold. Here's a drive and a foul call down low on what should have been a tied-up basketball. We saw the same officiating in the girls' game, so we're prepared for this, but that was a heck of a defensive play by Eli Sawyers on the strip, and somehow it was called a foul.
Yeah, Eli looked like he played really, really good defense down there. And that's the thing. You have to adjust the way the game's called. As you see Disberger miss the first free throw. But that can only play in the Southeast favor. If that's how you want to officiate the game, you're just going to pound the ball down low, and you got to be strong with the basketball.
Disberger missed the first free throw. He got the second one to go down, and Sacred Heart leads it 1-0. Remember that first meeting? Sawyers had 2 fouls right out of the gate. It didn't seem to affect Southeast that much on that night. Here's Nakari Morkel-Palmer, top circle 3. That bounces off no good. Sacred Heart has the rebound. Here comes Matucci with it to the right-hand side now. Flying up the floor is Max Ehrlich. He'll play it back to the middle. Near steal by Gebhardt. That frees open a shooter for 3. No good. Nakari Morkel-Palmer had the rebound squared out. Now a scrum on the floor, and they're going to call a jump ball. Sawyers and also Disberger down after it.
Yeah, and you saw Palmer go up for the rebound with kind of one hand and kind of try to slap the basketball. And there was no need. I mean, nobody can really jump with Nakari. If he can go up there and get it clean with 2 hands, you'd like to see that. So it's a clean rebound down for Southeast.
Matucci trying to inbounds it. Sawyer's there to poke it and take it away. Turnover, Sacred Heart, and now a foul on the open floor as Matucci was in the way of Eli Sawyers going up the right-hand sideline. So a foul on Michael Matucci.
And you see Matucci doing a good job right there. I think Matucci threw his body out in front, was looking for the charge call. I think Gormley wanted that, but no defensive position established, and he just stopped as Sawyer's full head of steam, and goodness gracious knows what could have happened on the other end of that.
Sawyer's a guarded 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Fight for the rebound. Danny Karen, they're fighting. It squirts away. Augustine on the putback attempt, that's no good. And now a foul called underneath. Looks like they might get a Southeast player on this as Drake Augustine slaps his hands together, and it will go against Augustine. That is his first.
Yeah, you're definitely see a lot of physical play. And again, how do you adjust to that? We talked about the pressure of this game, the intensity, the atmosphere. Yeah, the officiating's tight as well. You have to adjust to the way the game's being called. And again, I think a tightly officiated game will play in the Southeast hands.
Matucci with it. He goes off to the right-hand side. Now stops right center of the floor. Gets it into Disberger. A couple of backwards dribbles by Disberger, and it's poked and taken away. Palmer has it. Now Nakari up the floor to Sawyers, and Sawyers is hacked as he goes to the lane. They're going to say it's a shooting foul. 2 free throws coming up for Eli Sawyers. Shooting, go ahead.
Well, you're just seeing the ball being pushed from Southeast, and that's great because you have 5 players on the court that can run. Obviously, when Sawyers, is at the, at the end, the finishing end, that's just an exclamation point ready to happen.
A foul on Jason Mars. Again, I did not have him even on my score sheet for the first game. He didn't play. He's starting here tonight. First free throw by Sawyers is good. Second one crawls out, no good. We're tied up at 1-1. If you're tuning in on KINA and you want a visual of tonight's basketball games, I want to invite you to come on in to SalinaPost.com. It's free of charge, and it's brought to you by Salina Ortho. Video and the radio broadcast merged together, free of charge, for SalinaPost.com. 1-1 our score, just underway here in Salina. 5:48 left to go. Here's a wild shot at the basket by Sacred Heart, and the rebound taken in by Eli Sawyers. Up the court to the right-hand side. Augustine now back to Sawyers. Into traffic. Tried to dump it off to Danny Kerr down on the left block. Now he gets it back and has to play it out to Nakari Morkel-Palmer. A lot of active hands defensively on both ends of this contest early on. Here's Nakari on the drive. Tried to reverse. I'm not sure that had to happen, as it looked like maybe he had a way to get it up on the right-hand side, but Sacred Heart turns it right over, and it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, look at Nakari. Didn't have the angle he thought when he went up. Kind of lost possession of the basketball. But again, it's the pressure, it's the athleticism. I mean, there's a lot of great athletes right now, but you talk about the strengths of how young these teams are. You just saw how it's a weakness right there with Sacred Heart. I mean, it's a big game for them. A lot of these guys are seeing their first home varsity starts against, one of the top-ranked teams in 3A.
Kerr along the baseline to Gebhardt, now back out to Nakari Morkel-Palmer. Nakari's been really good as of late. In the corner to Augustine, back into Sawyers. He goes to the cup, has it blocked up high by Disberger, and Alex Disberger takes it away. What a defensive play there by Disberger, the senior.
Yeah, he had great positioning. He went straight up. I mean, Disberger's so tough down low.
Now a reaching foul.
No.
They're going to say on Sawyers again.
Yeah, and you can argue the first foul call and Sawyers all you want, but right there, you got to know if you're Eli, you've already got one tic-tac one. You've got to stay away. You can't get in with that reach. It looked like he reached in from the backside, picks up his second foul, and that's, like you said, it's exactly what happened at the Purple Palace. We'll see how the Trojans respond tonight.
Caden Isaacson into the game. He's the first substitute here for either squad. Pass in down low. Isaacson rips the rebound down for SES. 4.5 minutes left to go first quarter. Gebhardt cruising up the floor on the left-hand side. Now to Danny Kerr. His 15-foot jump shot from the southpaw. Good. Daniel Kerr gets the first field goal of this game. Kaysen Lilly will also check in at the next break in the action. Sacred Heart with the basketball, trailing for the first time. They established a 1-0 lead on a free throw. Southeast got that free throw back, and now Sacred Heart ties it back up with Disberger on the inside.
Yeah, great finish by Disberger, but a really good pass from Matusi. Finds him under low. Down low, he gets the defensive collapse. Nice little bounce pass.
There's Gebhardt, left-hand side, now in the corner to Isaacson. Nakari Morkel-Palmer now settling into the paint. He pops out to three-point land. He'll pull the trigger from three, and it's good. Nakari with his first field goal of the night. He has given Southeast of Saline now a 3-point advantage. 3:35 left to play in the first quarter. Tucci with it. Goes off to the right-hand side. Now he comes back to the left. Another drive to the baseline. Ehrlich. He gives it up to Matucci. Now he gets it right back. Pass to the mid lane to Disberger. He hooks around the defender. They're going to call a blocking foul on Caden Isaacson. That'll be the fourth team foul against Southeast of Saline. And for Isaacson, they're going to say Luke Gebhardt with his first.
Yeah, it's a tough foul call on Gebhardt. It could have gone on a couple different Trojans. Disberger's just, he creates a lot of matchup difficulties. He's so strong. He's so quick. He's able to go to the basket really hard as he drew the foul right there.
Here's a fake of a three-pointer off the inbounds. Now stuck in the paint is Sacred Heart. Disberger wants to go to Caden Isaacson. Isaacson there to produce resistance. Now they play it back out to Ehrlich. Ehrlich inside to Disberger. He has to go against Nakari this time, and Nakari in control of that one. Maybe got a little bit of the ball going up, but then turned and got fabulous rebounding position and the ball out of bounds to Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, you almost wonder at times if Nakari's kind of a better matchup on Disberger. We kind of just lets Disberger be the bull in the ring, and then all of a sudden when he goes up, Nakari's so smooth, calm, and collected, kind of go up and contest the shot.
There's a lob pass over everybody to Luke Gebhardt down low. He's in a triple team. Disberger tries to rip it away, and they're going to say it's a dual possession, and it's going to stay with Southeast of Saline underneath their own basket. You remember that first meeting? Nakari affected everything. He got blocks. He got tips. He was coming off on help side defense. I mean, he was just all over the place. Cleaned up many, many rebounds, and I just didn't know how he could play much better. But now he's had a couple of games since then that he has.
Yeah, and you also wonder how matchups kind of create those issues. I mean, all of a sudden right now you see Disberger trying to guard him on the perimeter. I think that's when you kind of open up Nakari's game is you get a big on him outside. You see Gebhardt for three, buries it from 22 feet. That's just the things Nakari can do. As he draws so much attention, Gebhardt buries the three when he passes the basketball.
Gebhardt had a chance to just kind of stand there and establish himself, right? I mean, he took the wind speed. He knew what the barometric pressure was, and when he got the ball, he was ready to go with it. It's a 6-point lead now for Southeast. They're up 9-3 on a couple of three-pointers, and now an offensive foul is going to be called against Max Ehrlich. Ehrlich went to the baseline. He got shut off by a defender and threw that forearm out there. Just that motion alone produced an offensive foul, and it's the third turnover for Sacred Heart.
He did, yeah, and Coach Flax was right on top of that call as well. And Coach Flax, we've seen that same official, make a couple of, kind of snap judgment calls like that as you see the Isaacson three errands. But Yeah, it looked like Coach Flax was in his ear about that call.
Into the game for Sacred Heart, Jet Samuelson. He's a 6-foot sophomore. Here's a drive by Matucci to the rim, and he is able to score. Michael Matucci with his first basket of the day.
Yeah, great move. He had the ball at 20 feet and just made one little movement, a couple dribbles, and great finish from the little sophomore right there. And when I say little, I don't mean the shorter sophomore. What do we got him listed
He's
at?
5'9".
5'9". He played well above 5'9" right there. Great move.
Love watching him play. He's been getting significant playing time his first 2 years in the program here for Brian Gormley. Southeast of Saline working around on the skip pass. Drew Richardson will unleash a three. Hits the backboard and goes in. You got to take those when you get them. Drew becomes the 5th Southeast player to score. Now Sacred Heart turns it over. For the Knights, it's their 4th turnover. So double bad there for the home team. Richardson knocks one in off the window. And then you turn it over. 12-5 is our score. Southeast of Saline settling in here after a bit of a rough start. We go to the left-hand side. Caden Isaacson with it. Isaacson wants to drive down the lane. Now he pitches out Lilly. Three-pointer won't go. Fight for the rebound. Isaacson and a Knight. And it comes out to Richardson, but then he turns it over. Try to get it to Nikari. Passed it a little bit behind him. Now Matucci to the lane. He's going to play it down to Disberger, who is fouled by Caden Isaacson. 2 free throws coming up for Alex Disberger.
Tell you what, Disberger's just so good at using his body. I mean, you see the defenders after they get called for the foul, they put their hands straight up like they were straight up, and they perhaps were straight up, but it's the body that Disberger, he'll get into you, he'll create the contact, and he'll go up. Just a crafty player who's super strong.
Disberger, I feel like, is a lot more active in this game than what he was in the first meeting. He had 9 points in the first meeting, but I don't remember him being this active. He already has 4. And already there's been a Jake Gebhardt sighting. Gebhardt, of course, did not play in the first meeting, had his first game of the season Friday night at Ellsworth, where he had a half a dozen points. First free throw by Disberger is good. He misses the second one. And Southeast of Saline with the ball. 44 seconds left here in the first quarter. Kason Lilly on the right-hand side. Now he plays it cross-court to Isaacson on the left-hand side of the Southeast of Saline offense. Back through Jake Gebhardt. Now Kason Lilly again has it. He'll find Drew Richardson. Half a minute left to go in the opening quarter. Gebhardt skips it back down to Isaacson. Extra pass, Richardson. Three-pointer on the way. Too strong, no good. Isaacson fighting for the rebound again, but Sacred Heart pulls it away. Nice job to secure that ball by Max Ehrlich. 14 seconds left to play. Ehrlich tiptoes across center court line. Now he's going to sprint over to the right-hand side of the floor. Looking for a screen. Disberger, pick and roll. He gets inside and a foul called. He also got the basket. Boy, what a prime opportunity for Southeast of Saline to take the charge, but they were unable to, and it's the second foul on Caden Isaacson.
Yeah, it looked like Caden got there a little bit late. Didn't get the feet set, kind of jumped into it, hoping it would get called. He had the right idea, was just there a split second too late. And again, Disberger just so strong after the contact, able to finish right there.
5.7 seconds left. Disberger has a chance to cut in the Southeast lead, and he makes the free throw. It is now a 3-point game. Disberger carrying the load here for Sacred Heart. He already has 7 points in this first quarter. Southeast, 5.7 left. They get Gebhardt on the run. Here comes Luke across the timeline. Got a screen from Jake. Now he gets in for a hanger that's too high off the backboard. He was going a little too much steam, but he covered a lot of territory. I expected him to pull up for 3 there. Nonetheless, Southeast of Saline goes to the end of the first quarter with a 3-point lead. 12-9 is our score. Second quarter coming up. You're listening and watching on Salina Post to Southeast of Saline basketball. They lead Sacred Heart by a bucket. It's a 3-point lead. And it's brought to you by Salina Ortho here on KINA.
A shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
See me, Kelly Kitchener, at our brand new location, 1809 South Ohio in Salina.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan Sports Program.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Back here at Sacred Heart High School, some finals for you. Southeast of Saline beat Sacred Heart earlier, 55-25. Minneapolis beat Abilene on the girls' side, 41-31. And Republic County took a loss to Beloit, 51-40. Republic County led that game at one time, 15-9. A little bit closer than what I thought we expected there between Republic County and Beloit, but Beloit does get the victory, and they hold pace now, a game behind Southeast of Saline on the girls' side of the NCAA standings. Here it's 12-9, Southeast of Saline with the lead. Sacred Heart inside with Disberger. His shot up and missed, and Luke Gebhardt clears the rebound for the guys wearing purple. Caden Isaacson now has it on the left-hand side. Skip pass through everything to Drew Richardson on the right. Back up top now to Jake Gebhardt. Isaacson down inside to Luke Gebhardt. His shot on the left block is no good. Luke a little too far underneath the rim on that one. Had a poor angle.
Sorry, I see the ball kicked out right there by Isaacson. A lot of times it's tough for a perimeter player, even though you have the size advantage to all of a sudden play on the block. I mean, that's something you're not accustomed to. You know, you've never played that way. It's all of a sudden you're a bigger player. And you're starting to see that with Luke. His game on the block on the inside is growing, and I think you'll see it be more refined. But that's a tough play right there for him to try to finish.
Here's the handoff to Matucci. He's going to play it back through the paint, left-hand side for a three-pointer that's up and no good on that shot from Max Ehrlich. Nakari Morkel-Palmer with the rebound. Here comes Nakari now left-hand side. Kason Lilly trailing. His 3-2 strong. Sawyer's back with the rebound. He plays it out to Nakari. Kason Lilly now inside in traffic. It's going to be tied up. Yes. They're going to say a tie-up and the arrow in favor of Southeast.
And that's a tough call. And you can hear the Southeast fans extremely frustrated with that. Anytime you see a player wrap their hands around another player to get the alternate possession, it's always a tough call to kind of agree with.
Starters back in the game now, except for Luke Gebhardt. Kason Lilly on the floor in lieu of him. But it's Augustine, Morkel-Palmer, Kerr, and also Sawyers along with Kason Lilly. 6:35 left to play here in the second. Drake Augustine's left wide open. His three no good. Nakari Morkel-Palmer up above everybody to grab that rebound. Now to Sawyers, baseline jumper. That trickles off no good. Boy, some cold shooting here for Southeast of Saline, and now Sacred Heart loses the basketball out of bounds. Pressure from Kerr and Augustine creates that turnover. Sacred Heart, it's their fifth.
When you see there might have been some contact down there, but that's what I love about Brian Gormley. Brian Gormley didn't say a single thing to the official. He looks at his own player and says, you've got to be stronger with the basketball.
Now a strip taken away from Nakari Morkel-Palmer. Matucci in the middle of the floor, and they're going to call a foul this time on Drake Augustine, who's flying around. For Drake, that is his second personal foul. Team foul, number 7.
Tell you what, I mean, this game's not pretty, and it's not going to be pretty tonight at all. It's just two teams. You can tell how they're coached, you know, in their practices behind closed doors. Both teams and the amount of intensity, diving after loose balls. No, there's not a single loose ball that's safe tonight.
Front into the 1-and-1 by Matucci is up, no good, and they're going to call another foul, this time on Sacred Heart, on the rebound that Nakari Morkel-Palmer had. Bryson Flex brought the official over to call that foul. I think maybe his argument was that it shouldn't have been Augustine's foul. But from our vantage point here courtside, we couldn't see what Drake had going by because he flew right by the play. But I think he was lobbying for it to go against Daniel Kerr, who doesn't have any fouls right now. Nonetheless, it did go on Augustine, his second. Evan Bogart picked up that rebounding foul for Sacred Heart, his first. Foul count now 7-4. Southeast of Saline has 7. Augustine, left-hand side. Both teams still looking for their first points here in the second quarter. Augustine goes in, gets the bump, no call, and now Sacred Heart loses the basketball out of bounds. Standing on the baseline is Jason Mars with it.
When you've seen Sacred Heart drop into a little zone right there, and you see Drake Augustine drive baseline, a lot of contact, but I think Sacred Heart really good defensive positioning. This zone look might give him a little bit of trouble.
Sawyer's inside, got a loose ball, turns, tries to score with the baby hook. That's no good. Now Sacred Heart flying up the floor once again, and a hand check foul against Daniel Kerr. Sacred Heart is really trying to push the tempo a lot more than what they did in the first meeting. They're wanting to fly up and down the floor.
Yeah, they are, and they're looking to attack when they do so. They're not just flying up the floor to get into the offense. They're looking up, and, right there, look like, we talk about Matucci. Matucci's He's crafty, and I think he knew that he had position. He couldn't do much offensively other than draw the foul if he just kept, aiming his way to the buck as he hits the first free throw. Misses the second, but he got the foul on Kerr.
Second free throw missed. The rebound offensively by Evan Bogart, but he can't do anything with it. Now Southeast is going to travel with it. Daniel Kerr got a little too aggressive there on that left-hand side. He might have hurt himself. He stepped on a foot or something. It just didn't look right.
Yeah, it looked like Kerr went that second step, and as he's coming off on his own power, it's good to see.
Luke Gebhardt will come in and let Daniel Kerr kind of check everything out once again. 12-10, our score. Sacred Heart with it. Max Ehrlich guarded in man-to-man set by Luke Gebhardt. Ehrlich, high post down to Disberger. He fakes the handoff to a couple of guards flying by. Now he challenges Eli Sawyer. Shot up, no good. Nakari Morkel-Palmer with the rebound. He's now flying up to the other end. He'll go to the corner where nobody attends to him. Now he's going to give it up to Sawyer's trailing. Three-pointer around the rim won't go down. Boy, just some cold shooting to match our weather here in Salina. There's a drive and a block by Sawyer's up top. Kason Lilly takes custody of that basketball. He's in the middle of the floor looking for help. Here's Sawyer's on the right-hand side. Body control wins the day as Eli Sawyer scores 2 and Bryson Flax 10 feet out on the court to call a timeout. 14-10 is our score. Southeast of Saline gets the first field goal of the second quarter. Points are at a premium, and we're at a 30-second timeout. 4:53 left to go before halftime. Southeast leads it by 4 here on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
14-10 out of the timeout. That 30-second timeout was called by Bryson Flax and Southeast of Saline. They lead it by 4. Here's a little mini drive by Evan Bogart. Now he plays it off to Ehrlich. Matucci has it now on the right wing. Back to Ehrlich. They'll play it through Jet Samuelson, who's back into the contest for the Knights. Now a traveling violation will be issued here against Sacred Heart as a drag of a pivot foot by Evan Bogart. That is the second turnover here of the quarter for Sacred Heart. They have 6 in the first half.
And I don't know if I blame Bogart. I mean, you have Nakari Morkel-Palmer on you. I mean, he just expands, and all of a sudden that wingspan gets so long. You thought you had an opening, it's no longer there.
Here's a wide open shooter. It's Augustine in the corner. He turns it down. Now he's in a trap and in trouble and turns it over. Boy, I think you still got to take the open shot. Here's a drive now all the way to the other end as Max Ehrlich leaves it in off the window for Sacred Heart. They go defense to offense that trip. 14-12. Sacred Heart back to within 2. Nakari for 3. Nails it. The crowd silencer from Nakari Morkel-Palmer, and he puts Southeast back up by 5. Now the leave off inside and a shot up and good. What a play by Michael Matucci, leaving it off for Evan Bogart.
That's what's fun about Matucci. I mean, he's able to drive the lane. And Matucci's, at 5'9", but he can finish or he can distribute. And he distributed really well right there. You see Sawyers to Augustine to answer.
Augustine becomes the 6th Southeast player to score. Don't ignore the assist, though, given by Eli Sawyers. Now down low, a shot put up. And Jason Marsh comes up to him, but Matucci gets it in down low. Michael Matucci, the 5'9" sophomore, in playing amongst the trees, and he's doing all right for himself. Now Gebhardt all the way to the glass. All of a sudden now there's no defense and a lot of scoring. Luke Gebhardt with 5.
Yeah, I don't know how many timeouts we have, but we need one. I'm not saying Southeast.
You and I. Yes.
You and I need one. This is great. This is up and down, these teams. And it's not bad defense. It's just the ball's beating them up the court. You can see guys just – they're going at it right now.
Long three-pointer dialed up, and it's in the cup by Evan Bogart. He has 5. 21-19 now. Back to within 2 comes the Sacred Heart Knights. 2:30 left to play. Nakari now using the screen by Eli Sawyers, gets to the baseline, pitches out Kaysen Lilly. Extra passes being made all the way around the perimeter. Gebhardt airballs a three. Here it comes back the other way. Sacred Heart with it. Here's a pick in the middle of the court by Augustine to the cup, and a foul called. Blocking foul down low, and Augustine hit hard as he was on a collision course that time with Evan Bogart. Augustine's going to get up and go to the free throw line. Foul on Bogart is his second.
Yeah, Drake did a good job using his body to create that contact. I mean, Bogart didn't have horrible position. He was so far underneath the basket. He slid there a little bit late. However, he was stuck. But Augustine did a good job just going into that and earned himself 2 free throws.
Augustine just made his first field goal of the game. Now 2 free throws coming up, and he drains the first. How exciting is it? I mean, we got a pretty good game brewing here. And you look around, a lot of these guys are still going to be here next year. I mean, that's...
Well, if you're a Southeast fan, the exciting thing is the one person that won't be here is Alex Disberger. You know, as the lone senior that's just... That, in fact, other than him and Julian Torres, who we haven't seen yet, every single player is coming back next year. I mean, this is an exciting matchup. I mean, there's just a lot of talent right now.
Steal, Nakari. Here comes Morikel Palmer, 1-on-2. Attacks Matucci. Steps through the defenders and scores. Nakari, Morikel Palmer just took the steal, and he just made a next-level move against the Sacred Heart defense, who was just left hopeless. And a big 2 and a 30-second timeout. We will take it as well. Under 2 minutes left to play. Southeast of Saline leads up by 5 here on KINA.
Salina Septic Services provides septic services including septic tank installation, inspection, and repair. In addition to professional septic tank services, we also provide portable restroom rentals. We have many options available, including his and hers portable restrooms and hand washing sinks. Setup, service, and removal are all part of our rentals. Whether you project a long-term construction job or a family gathering, we guarantee a clean porta potty. Find us today at salinasepticservice.com, proudly supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Inside 2 minutes left to go here. Second quarter. Southeast of Saline leading 24-19. And right now the big difference is turnovers. Southeast of Saline with just 2 turnovers in this first half. Meanwhile, Sacred Heart has 9. And Southeast has been able to do some things with those turnovers. Here's a three-pointer, left-hand side. Give him another one. That's Max Ehrlich this time with his first 3. Evan Bogart shot one a couple of possessions ago. Sacred Heart back to within 2. Richardson out there with Kaysen Lilly, Jake Gebhardt, Luke Gebhardt, Nakari Morikel Palmer. Bryson Flax trying to shield Eli Sawyers right now, and also Caden Isaacson from picking up 3 fouls in this first half. 74 seconds left to go. Richardson looked inside a little bit of Luke Gebhardt, who is holding down the block right now with this kind of makeshift lineup out there for Southeast of Saline. 1 minute left to play. Kaysen Lilly with it. Turns. Now he's going to hand it off to Luke Gebhardt. Luke with a skip pass to Richardson. Now over to Jake Gebhardt in the corner. Now back to Nakari Morikel Palmer. He steps the defender up between his legs. Three-pointer on the way. Won't go. High bounce off the rebound, and they're going to get Jake Gebhardt with the rebounding foul on the backside. Free throws coming up for Sacred Heart on the other end. It'll be a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and you saw that Disberger had really, really good position right there. Looked like Jake Gebhardt just tried to go swat the ball away. Got caught at the push in the back right there. 1-and-1 for Disberger.
Disberger has 7 points in the first half, but they all came in the first quarter. He has been quiet since then. He has a chance to tie this game. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity after the first foul on Jake Gebhardt. Free throws up and good. He will get the bonus. (24-23), 45.5 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Disberger's second free throw, good. We are tied at 24. Southeast of Saline with it. Luke Gebhardt gets into the paint. Now plays it out to Kaysen Lilly. Nakari Morikel Palmer now to Jake in the keyhole. His long 2 won't go. Rebound taken in down low by Jason Mars. Here comes Sacred Heart back the other way. Well, they opt to play for 1. They have really been standing on the accelerator here in the first half, trying to play up-tempo. 16 seconds left to go. Looks like Sacred Heart will try one last crack. Ehrlich with it up top. He plays off. Now a three-pointer. Got it. Southeast still has some time. Here comes Drew Richardson. Now to Gebhardt. 2-pointer at the buzzer. Goes down. Oh, they're going to call it a 3. And we are still tied at halftime. You got to be kidding me. Max Ehrlich hit a 3. Left about 4 seconds on the clock. And Luke Gebhardt gets the ball from Drew Richardson and answers it at the buzzer. 27-27 our score. What a game and what a first half. When we come back, numbers from the first half. We'll also hook up with Shauna Smith. Talk about a 30-point victory for the Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans. Halftime is here, and it's brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top-quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap. Shot at the horn. Stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Now, let's get back to the gym for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
What an end to the first half here in this boys contest between Sacred Heart and Southeast of Saline, trading three-pointers in the last 8 seconds, and it is 27-27 our score here at the break. We'll go over a scoring breakdown for you here in a little bit, because right now we owe our attention to head coach Shauna Smith and the Southeast of Saline ladies early on. They got a 55-25 victory. It's a 30-point win for Southeast of Saline. And coach, your 11th victory of the season. Got started a little bit slow in this game. It came out and just kind of, it looked like each team was just kind of having trouble getting things going. But your saving grace early on, and it proved to be that way throughout the contest, was Avery Castleman. Her first 2 touches, she was able to bury a 3, and she had half of your 12 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now she's playing with a lot of confidence, and so, you know, so let her shoot the ball there. Like I said, she has got has on her eye there. But since we came after Christmas break, she has that, so we'll let it fly.
We talked about Avery quite a bit after the Ellsworth game, how she just continues to do things well, and it happened again tonight. There were a lot of loose balls, even some rebounds in question there in that first quarter and first half, and all of a sudden she's around the ball now all the time. As a coach, you love to have players like that, where we call them 50-50 balls, but they're desire plays, where you know that one certain person is always going to be around the ball, and she's going to make several plays for you. You have a lot of girls like that, but now I think we can put Avery in that group as well.
Well, yeah, like I said, tonight, like she kind of went to where she's guarding, you know, the best player, too, on the team. Like if Mallory goes out of the game, or Mallory, you know, she's maybe had some foul troubles here, but Mallory has the last couple of games. So she's kind of went to guard that player, but actually I have several kids that can go out and guard, you know, the best player on the team.
What's your thoughts at halftime? You have a 9-point lead. You're up by as many as 14 in the second quarter, and Carson Slater doesn't have any points.
Well, you know, we actually talked about that. I don't know if Maddie Harris had any either. And we talked about this, told the girls, it all came down to somebody make a bucket. You know, we had all the open looks we wanted, had everything that we wanted. Somebody's going to make a bucket, and that's kind of what opened the game up. Then we got some things off of our 12 or our press there, and kind of just got going there, I guess, a little bit. And everybody does. You know, and our job is we wear people down, and you can just kind of see that happening, and that's why we kind of kept going and going and going, because we were just wanting to wear them down.
Carson ended up with 5 points. She scored them all in the third quarter, but she was, your 4th leading scorer tonight? Maybe your 5th leading scorer. Brielle Patachi continues to play well for you. I thought Eleni Anacopoulos tonight was really good. She did some things for you in timely stretches. There was a play in the second half where she was in a double team over here on the right-hand side, didn't have a lot of help, took a couple dribbles out, drug the defenders with her, and then went back at them and made an incredible shot. We got to be reminded once in a while that she can still score 20 points if she wants to, right? I mean, she does so many other things, though.
Yeah, she doesn't get a lot of credit. You know, her and Mallory Preston don't get a lot of credit a lot of times. But Helena does, her job, and she kind of has the cruddy job on our team a lot of times, opened up. She always is guarding their, best post player, their tallest post player. And, like tonight, she did everything we asked her to do earlier in the game. They had a couple lob passes, but that was our backside help. It wasn't necessarily her.
Yeah.
But, she does that, and her job is to box out. And, she gets rebounds that sometimes what she can't get or doesn't, but her job is to box the other person's big player out. And she's also capable of stepping out there. And like she said, she can sit there and shoot it. She's a pretty good shooter.
Let's talk about that in the adjustment early on, because they were going to get Avery Eshelman the ball down low. First play of the game, they get a lob pass to her. You get caught with a foul. She scores 3 points. She had 7 in that first quarter, but then she didn't score again. What was the adjustment for you?
Well, necessarily wasn't an adjustment. We talked about how we're going to guard her from the first of the game, and for some reason we lost that focus, whatever. It just, we got so focused on the backside, the defense is guarding up the guards up top, or we didn't have any backside help. And then after that, we kind of just had our backside help was there, and we limited her. I think she was 3 for 9 in the first half, and I don't know what she ended up being, but that's what I kind of told the girls, and we got to box her out and finish that. So I thought we just did a better job of knowing where she was after that.
You have a lot of little Swiss Army knives running around on this team, because we saw Carson Slazner down low playing post defense once in a while. Of course, Mallory Pierce and Eleni Copels, they do it all the time. But it's almost some switching stuff where if somebody's going to play a screenings type of offense against you, you can just switch those screens out, and you're really not hurt, are you?
Well, and that's kind of, we talked about that in practice. I say we always switch all of our screens, because we're really interchangeable. And so we talked at halftime, like we weren't doing a very good job. We were kind of switching, only sometimes switching. But that's not how we play. We get up and we want to get up and push the ball and kind of push people out on offense further out. And then that's what I thought kind of opened the game up also, is that we kind of really got into passing lanes and made them kind of really push their offense clear out here. They're trying to start their offense out here further, and we got some passing lanes, and they got some turnovers that just they didn't catch the ball. It was just because it was harder passes to get the ball in.
Big third quarter for you. You go forever without them scoring. Finally, they do get 2 points, but you own the third quarter 18-2. You own the second half 32-11 on your way to a 30-point win. This is now 20 consecutive league wins for you in the NCAA, and it's been fun. I mean, you sit there and you look at it, and the NCAA overall, top to bottom, isn't a great league, but you still have teams like Beloit, like Sacred Heart, that will come after you on any given night. And also winning on the road is hard regardless. How proud of you and what this group is continuing to accomplish?
Well, like I said, I tell the girls, this game wasn't going to be, we were walking in, it's a hard place to play.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're just taking one game at a time, and the on Friday's not a league game. The Chapman's going to be a tough game for us, but then we have 2 next week. We have Beloit and Minneapolis, and they're going to give us all we want. That is definitely, I would be shocked if those are 20-point games, let alone a 30-point game, because they're going to come out and they're going to play us, and we just know each other so well. Yeah. So every time we go out and play, it's just, we're glad to have one more point than somebody else.
Should be fun. Chapman on Friday night. We'll talk to you then.
All right, thank you.
Shauna Smith, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans. Her girls tonight get their 11th win on the season. They are now 6-0 in league play. They get a 30-point victory tonight over the Sacred Heart Lady Knights. Halftime of the boys contest, 27-27. It's an incredible game. Back with numbers from the first half and also the start of the third quarter. It's a 60-second timeout on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. You're listening to Trojan Basketball here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
27-27, our score here at the reset that we're going to call halftime for tonight. What an incredible game so far. 9 points for Alex Disberger. He leads the way of all scorers. 8 points for Max Ehrlich. Max scored all his points in the second quarter. 5 points for Michael Matucci and 5 points for Evan Bogard for Southeast of Saline. 8 points for Nakari Moracle-Palmer. 8 points for Luke Gebhardt. 3 points for Eli Sawyers, 3 points for Drake Augustine, 3 points for Drew Richardson, 2 points for Daniel Kerr. Southeast of Saline 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Sacred Heart 6 out of 10. Sacred Heart has 9 turnovers while Southeast of Saline has just 2. 2 quarters out of the way. We can't say they don't matter because they do, but on the scoreboard we reset it here. Tyler Smith, your New Image Audio. Keys to success for Southeast here in this second half.
Well, I think this is everything we signed up for, right? I mean, this is 2 heavyweights going at it. The atmosphere is great. It feels like a Friday night. It's a Tuesday night. These kids are maybe hoping for no school tomorrow with the weather coming in. But the keys to success right now for Southeast, let's get Eli Sawyers going. I mean, he battled some foul trouble early. Let's see what happens if he can get going right now.
There's a trio of Southeast of Saline players that have 2 fouls as we start this second half, but nobody. Oh, and a block by Sawyers up top. I don't know what Sacred Heart had on their mind there, but Alex Disberger went to the lane, and Eli Sawyers was there to take it away with 2 hands. Now Gebhardt in transition, shoots the 3. That won't go. Rebound jerked away by Sacred Heart. What a defensive stand by Sawyers, as I was saying. Sawyers, Augustine, and Isaacson all have 2 fouls for Southeast. Evan Bogard has 2 fouls for Sacred Heart. Down low with it, Disberger. Now he's going to kick it out, Matucci. He's going to go all the way through the lane, end up on the other side, kick it out for 3. That's no good, and nothing but purple rebounders underneath for Southeast of Saline. 27-27 our score. Sacred Heart had a brief 3-point lead there right before half, before Luke Gebhardt took it back. We are still tied now at 27. Nakari Moracle-Palmer with it. Now to Sawyers in the far corner. Back up top to Nakari. Mid-lane entry to Sawyers. He tried to go to the backside to Luke Gebhardt, and that's going to be batted out of bounds. It will stay with Southeast of Saline over on the far sideline, the right-hand side of their offense.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a tough entry pass regardless, but Sacred Heart had really good defense there. A lot of hands involved. Creates another opportunity for Southeast Saline.
Gebhardt with it. He gets a screen from Sawyers. Now he kicks out to Augustine. Augustine with a couple of big sweeping crossovers. They'll play it to Danny Kerr. 3-pointer on the way. Rips it. Danny Kerr gets his second field goal. And this a 3-pointer, his first one of the game. Southeast back up by 3.
And Danny Kerr's a guy we saw playing with so much confidence early in this season. He's just struggled a little bit lately. You know, he kind of went off with a little illness, and you get him back, and the strength that we saw him in the first couple of games, it's just another layer to this Trojan team.
Bogart to the right to Ehrlich. He's going to drive through the paint. Wow. Left-handed layup is good. Max Ehrlich now in double digits with 10. He had 11 in the first meeting.
And Ehrlich's extremely dangerous. We've seen what he can do from the outside. All of a sudden he takes that ball. Anytime you're a lefty, you kind of have that little step. Somebody might forget you're left-handed. You see Kerr do the same thing, Danny Kerr. Every once in a while your scouting report gets mixed up. You forget a guy's left-handed. We just saw Ehrlich and Kerr, both of them take advantage of a defender falling asleep.
Little southpaw face-off right there, wasn't it? And Daniel Kerr is going to get called with a little token slap there. He did foul the ball handler in front of him, Evan Bogart. And for Daniel Kerr, that'll be his second foul now.
Well, I don't know if you can pick it up on the radio, but the atmosphere is electric. Easily the second best home court advantage in NCAA behind the Purple Palace. But it's fun, it's loud. This is the entire environment you want to tap into right now. You just got to love every second of it.
3-pointer in the corner for Sacred Heart. That's going to come from Evan Bogart, who now has 8. Sacred Heart back to tied at 32. 5:20 left to go here in a quick-moving start to the third quarter. Sawyers has it on the left-hand side. Now a skip through the defense. Augustine out to Danny Kerr. Kerr's going to drive into the paint. Stops, fades away, shoots and scores. Daniel Kerr now has 9 points in this game.
And, you know, we saw Kerr go out earlier after a twisted ankle.
Yeah.
After a kind of a tough turnover. Great defense. Kerr turns Matucci over, which isn't easy because Matucci's so good at the basketball. Really good defense right there. But the good thing is you see Danny Kerr earlier twisted an ankle on kind of an unfortunate turnover. Didn't know if he'd be where his mind was, comes back, and you can tell he's locked into the rest of this basketball game.
He does have a tape job on that left ankle now. We don't know if that is new or if it was there before, but he is sporting some tape on that left wheel. Here's Kerr for three. It's a heat check. That won't go. Augustine, though, with the rebound. His dribble after the rebound went off of a foot, and now it squirts free, and Eli Sawyers dives on the deck and able to save possession there for Southeast of Saline because they have the arrow.
When you see immediately Max Ehrlich asks to come out. I mean, Max is the first guy on the floor. A couple players jumped onto him. Ehrlich's an absolute gamer. I mean, flew to the floor right there. As you see, immediately you have to take him out, and you're bringing in Jason Mars, who we've seen a lot of tonight for Sacred Heart.
Caden Isaacson, Case, and Lilly both into the game here. It will be Kerr and Sawyers taking a break. So you've kind of bought yourself a little bit of time here with Sawyers, right? He goes out, he plays about 3.5 minutes. You take him out, let him breathe, let him regroup, and then when you put him back in, it's time to hit the accelerator back down on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's got to be that's when you check the maturity of Sawyers. I mean, because it's not an easy thing to do, but you kind of just rely on him being, one of the top players in the state and being able to do that. When he's in, he contributes.
Isaacson to Miracle Palmer. Nakari gets it right back. Isaacson shoots the three, and he misses, but Luke Gebhardt on the backside gets the rebound and cashes it back in. Luke with 10. 36-32. Southeast of Saline up by 4. Drew Richardson at the table to check in at the next whistle for SES. Here's a drive and a pass that goes off Disberger's chest. Sacred Heart, though, able to save it into Matucci, a runner. And a teardrop up, no good. Payson Lilly with the rebound. He rips it away from a Sacred Heart player. Now to Gebhardt. Here comes Luke to the left-hand side. Nakari. Miracle Palmer wants to follow Luke into the lane. Now out to Payson Lilly for three. That won't go. Rebound underneath, and bodies fly everywhere. There's 3 Sacred Heart players, along with Caden Isaacson. And Isaacson, you don't worry about him because he's a brick, but there's Sacred Heart players everywhere. I had to laugh because Caden got up kind of laughing like, oh no, what did I do this time?
But I'll tell you what, you're just seeing players sacrifice everything they have. And I mean, we often talk about having the heartbeat of your coach. Both teams have that. I mean, the intensity that Coach Flax and Gormley have, these teams are just playing, all balls to the wall, if you will. As you see Isaacson take the ball to the rack, getting fouled by Disberger from behind.
Isaacson used the momentum against Disberger. He came out running at Isaacson a little bit, and Caden just let him get there and then put the ball on the floor and went right back against the grain. A beautiful move there that gets Alex Disberger into his first foul. Caden Isaacson will go to the free throw line for 2.
Well, how about the way that Disberger plays, and that's his first foul? I mean, Disberger's so good with his body. I mean, he's such a physical player. And that's foul number 1. I mean,
we saw the battle between him and Sawyers earlier on, and Sawyers got 2 of those fouls. Disberger, however, did not. Isaacson missed the first free throw, but he's going to get the second one. First point of the game for Caden Isaacson. He becomes the 7th Southeast of Saline player to score in this game. 5-point lead for Southeast of Saline. Doing a kind of a girls' action here. Shauna Smith's squad always likes to come out in the third quarter and shut everybody out. And right now, Southeast doing a good job on the guys' side. But here's a 3-point play opportunity for Sacred Heart. Basket is good and a foul called. This will go against Caden Isaacson, his 3rd.
Yeah, and Ehrlich again did such a good job. He's such a danger from the outside, a couple dribbles in. And he was able to finish without using the backboard. He kind of had that baseline angle. Great finish from Ehrlich.
He's able to complete the 3-point play. He leads Sacred Heart now with 5 here in this quarter, 13 for the game. Back to a 2-point advantage. Southeast of Saline's lead cut, 37-35, 3:10 left to go. Nakari Miracle Palmer, high post in the keyhole. He steps out, grabs it in 3-point land. Now over to Isaacson. Gebhardt, left side 3. That won't go. And the rebound taken down inside by Alex Disberger. Here comes Ehrlich again. Boy, Ehrlich's really been the dagger. He's going to get somebody's attention, surely defensively for Southeast, isn't he? Here's a steal by Gebhardt. Second turnover by by Sacred Heart. Gebhardt with it on the left-hand side. Over to Isaacson. Far corner now on the right-hand side of the Southeast offense as we view it from the scores table here at Sacred Heart High. Down low, Nakari, he draws a crowd. Out to Gebhardt, extra pass, Drew Richardson for 3. That won't go down, and the rebound taken in by Jet Samuelson for Sacred Heart.
Again, you're starting. Oh, yeah, it looked like Kaysen got him with the forearm right there. Lilly getting called at the foul. You're kind of lacking that offensive identity right now without Sawyers in the game. I mean, you're just kind of seeing a lot of stale possessions. Now you see Sawyers immediately into the basketball game.
So Augustine will come in here. He'll replace Isaacson. Also Eli Sawyers, as you mentioned, into this game. He will replace Luke Gebhardt for a break. Matucci with it off the inbounds. Motion offense here from Sacred Heart. Fake of a three way out top. But you still got to honor that. We've seen these Knights hit some long ones here in this game. Jess Samuelson with it. Now to Matucci. 2 minutes left to go here in the third. Sacred Heart being very patient with this possession. In deep. Now to Disberger. Back out Matucci. Three-pointer on the way. That won't go. Fight for the rebound is out of bounds. And they're going to say Southeast of Saline basketball. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one to go against the Knights. Just got word. No school for these Trojans tomorrow. So I think this will be even more exciting if they can pull together a big win and get the day off of school tomorrow.
Here's Sawyers, high post. Now kick out. Richardson for three. That's not going to go. It's too short, but the ball kind of batted around, and Sawyers scores with the Karl Malone-style hook shot.
Yes, without a doubt. Still had the body there. Went up strong with the Karl Malone-type hook. Great finish from Sawyers.
The guns aren't as big as the postman, but he still scored and gives Southeast a 4-point lead. 75 seconds left to go here in the third. Matucci underneath. He's going to kick it out. Long distance shot, no good. Fight for the rebound between Sawyers and Disberger. Sawyers almost let him have it. Disberger now on a drive. And a block down low by Nakari Moriko-Palmer. Boy, they thought they had a free pass to the basket. Did Evan Bogart. Nakari up top, all over the top of that basketball.
Such a great job from Nakari to keep his body away. Still able to get a hand on the basketball. Get a massive block without ever drawing any contact.
Nakari comes out just expressionless, no emotion. I'm sure he has things going through his mind, but the kid just kind of goes out there and he's just an even sine wave. There's a drive on a pick and roll. Augustine hits the floor.
Steps.
Yeah. And now they're going to call a foul, of course, here on the defense. Southeast will get this foul, and it will go against Jake Gebhardt. Man, it's good to see him out there.
Yeah, it really is. And you can hear Coach Douglas, Assistant Coach Douglas, shouting orders out, just telling them to see the basketball. We thought there was a travel. You didn't hear much uproar from the Southeast, but you see Ehrlich pop another three. Defensive rebound, Eli Sawyers.
Sawyers on the big rebound. Now he wants to run. Has Jake Gebhardt out in front of him.
Oh, wow.
Gebhardt all the way to the rack. Can't get it to go, but the tip by Eli Sawyers. Sawyers there to help out his friend as the juniors go to the rim and score. 41-35. Now a poke by Kason Lilly. And the ball ends up with Disberger, and somehow he scores, and he's fouled. I don't know how Alex Disberger does this 80% of the time. He just picked the rock up off the deck and just threw it in, and it went in with the foul. He is amazing around the rim.
Disberger is just so strong, and if you remember, it was a year ago that he just hammered the dagger to Southeast Saline. Had a huge night, hit the game winner at the buzzer. He's just such a force down low. He's great body control, strong young man as he converts a three-point play.
That foul on Sawyers is his third. Disberger gets the free throw to go down. 19 seconds left to play. 41-38. Southeast of Saline leads it by 3. 12 seconds left. Drake Augustine with it. So far in this game, Luke Gebhardt's taking the shots at the end of each quarter, but he's not out there right now. Here's Sawyers with it up top. 4 seconds. Now 3. Wants to drive, kicks it out. Kason Lilly for 3. Can't get it to go at the buzzer, and we will go to the fourth quarter. 41-38. Southeast of Saline reclaims their lead back, but the Knights right there chomping at their heels as we go to the fourth and final quarter. Southeast of Saline leads it by 3. You're listening and watching on Salina Post. It's brought to you by Salina Ortho.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
You're telling me your driver turned you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
There has only been 4 Sacred Heart Knights score in this game, but they are right there in the pocket of Southeast of Saline. 41-38 our score. Southeast of Saline leads it by 3 as we start the 4th and final quarter. Inside, Disberger with it. Guarded by Nakari Morkel Palmer, and he turns and scores.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked like Disberger's feet moved really quickly there, and he's super quick, super great on the post, but we've seen a travel called for less. Nice play from Disberger regardless. Great finish.
Nakari there didn't really do a whole lot of resistance. He has no fouls, and I think that might be why he's on Disberger right now. Jake Gebhardt just saved the ball for Southeast on their offensive end. Daniel Kerr has it now, kicks it out to Drew Richardson. 41-40. Southeast of Saline leads by a single digit. 4 guards out in three-point land. Nakari Morkel Palmer working the paint for Bryson Flax on this offensive possession. Now they go down low to Jake Gebhardt, and he's going to be fouled. That's just the 3rd team foul on Sacred Heart here in this second half.
And again, you're just buying time with Sawyers on the bench, aren't you? I mean, as long as you can keep that lead and you keep things going, Sawyers on the bench with 3 fouls. I think if things were, different right now, but right now with a 1-point lead, as long as you can just keep breathing with this lead, you're going to keep Sawyers, refreshed and keep him out of foul trouble.
Michael Matucci just picked up his 3rd personal foul. Here's Richardson again.
Man.
Short. Boy, Drew is off tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, I think everybody is right now. I mean, that's been the one thing we've seen kind of keep this game from getting out of hand is Southeast cannot hit a 3-point bucket.
Richardson hit one early on in this game back in the first quarter, but since then, seems like he's been short on most of his shots. Here's a shot up now by Sacred Heart. That's no good. Rebound taken in by Drake Augustine for Southeast of Saline. Southeast still leads it here, 41-40. Nakari Morkel Palmer slings it left-hand side to Drew Richardson. Now back around to Drake Augustine. Drake, bounce pass inside to Nakari. He's being double-teamed. Now the defender leaves. Nakari, one bounce, turn, shot, won't go down. And the rebound taken in by Max Ehrlich. Ehrlich comes up the floor, plays it into the corner. Looking at the 3 maybe was Evan Bogart. Now he dumps it into Disberger. Now back up top, Ehrlich. He wants to drive. He's on the right-hand side of the basket this time and finishes with the left hand there. Ehrlich with 15.
When you saw Jason Mars do a great job just clearing out the defense, Ehrlich did a great job following him in a fantastic finish.
Daniel Kerr back to his scoring ways. He has 11, and now a timeout here by Bryson Flax. Daniel Kerr has just equaled a career high and a season high of 11 points in this game. He has given Southeast of Saline the lead back and a 30-second timeout. 5:54 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Southeast leads at 43-42 on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
43-42 our score. Southeast of Saline leads it by 1. 5:54 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Augustine, Nakari Morkel Palmer, Luke Gebhardt, Eli Sawyers, Daniel Kerr on the floor here for Southeast of Saline. Michael Matucci brings it up on the left-hand side. High pick here by Disberger. They go away from it and bury it to Jason Mars on the right-hand side. They try to hand it off. Now Daniel Kerr has a steal, but he never really fully got custody of it. He takes a tumble here in front of the scorer's table. Alex Disberger from Sacred Heart there to help him up. It will stay with the Knights.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you can't question at all is either one of these teams, just effort, their hustle. This is great. I mean, this is just great basketball going on right here. The intensity, the defense. This is everything you sign up for.
Here's the handoff by Matucci. He goes into a crowd. Nothing there. Defended well by Daniel Kerr and Drake Augustine. Up the floor. Here comes Kerr. Down along the baseline. It's stolen away. Trying a left-handed bounce pass down underneath the basket. Intended for Eli Sawyers. And Sacred Heart was there to take it away. Now Bogart down low to Disberger. He's almost tied up by Daniel Kerr, but he ripped it away. Matucci inside with a scoop and a foul. 2 free throws coming up for the sophomore Michael Matucci.
And that's a big one because they called it on Palmer and not Sawyers. But at some point, if you're Sawyers and you're Palmer, you have to understand if you just go up literally straight up and not try to get a block, that you're gonna make a tough shot for Matucci. I mean, the 5'9" sophomore is so crafty, did a great job, got himself to the free throw line as he buries that first.
6 points now. All his points before that, all 5 of them were scored in the second quarter. He misses the second free throw, and we are tied at 43. 4:54 left to go. All tied up, 86 points, split right down the middle between these two NCAA teams. Trying to get a stranglehold on first place in the NCAA is Southeast of Saline. Sacred Heart's trying to draw even. Here's Augustine. He plays the right-hand side. Daniel Kerr. Kerr now wants to get into the paint, collects the defense, plays it back out to Nakari. Now a quick screen by Eli Sawyers. Nakari's going to play it out here to Luke Gebhardt. Gebhardt trying baseline. Sacred Heart pretty solid defensively. Now Sawyers gets inside with a big spin move and a teardrop. Points 8 and 9 now out of Eli Sawyers. Here's Matucci now coming up the floor. Threatens the paint, pulls it back out, plays it to Ehrlich. Big pickup tie, and they're going to get Gebhardt on the foul as he ran through the screen of Evan Bogart. I'm not sure Bogart was there, but they're going to give Gebhardt the foul. That is his second. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity coming up for Evan Bogart.
And you see Gebhardt talking to the official, and I think Luke is very seasoned in the way he can speak to officials. He's just asking, for a little clarification. That's a tough foul. You hate to see it's very rare that a screen is set that clean as you see the first free throw hit by Bogart. That when a player runs through it and the screener falls, that's the outcome.
Bogart made the first free throw. He has 9. Second free throw coming up. And a chance to tie the game once again, and he does. Tied again at 45. Stoppage in play here. Sacred Heart with a substitution. It will be Jet Samuelson back into the game. Here comes Drake Augustine across the center court stripe. We're about halfway through the fourth quarter. Sawyers to Nakari Morikel Palmer. Nakari, ball above his head. Now he makes a move to the baseline, has a shot blocked, but he gets it back, and it's swatted out of bounds. Yes. And Bryson Flax peers at the official and wants to know where the foul was there. Wanting balance on both ends is Coach Flax.
Yeah, definitely a lot of contact, but where there wasn't contact was from Evan Bogart. Really good defense. You see Sawyers miss the 15-footer from the elbow.
Sawyers had a good look at it. It was guarded. He was way up there in the air, and it came out too strong. Sacred Heart now with the basketball. Here's Disberger driving and an offensive foul. There's a moving screen, and that goes back to the play that we just saw that probably also should have went like that, but it didn't, and now it equals out. That's all you hope for, I think.
You're exactly right, and you never want to say officials are swayed. I mean, they're calling the game, but the way that Luke Gebhardt approached the foul on him, he didn't go up there like a brat. He didn't go up there whining. He had a conversation with the official. That maturity might have led to that right there.
If you ever start out a conversation with an official and your first 2 words are, what the, you're probably not going to win.
You're exactly right.
45-45, 3:18 left to go now. Augustine with it. Little flip, waist high to Sawyers. Drop step, spin move, and he scores. Eli Sawyers turns with a competitive, disgusted look on his face as he was able to put Southeast up by 2. We approach the 3-minute mark. What a game.
Well, I think Sawyer's disappointed. There's a lot of contact on the finish down low. He made a great spin move to get away from the defense, but down low, a lot of contact, no foul called.
They're still trying that high pick action with Disberger this time. Bogart's going to drive to the baseline. Now he hands it off, and Ehrlich's going to draw the foul as he ran into Daniel Kerr. For Danny, that'll be his 3rd foul. It will send Max Ehrlich to the free throw line, where this evening he is 1 of 1. He shot that back in the 3rd quarter, and it's the 8th foul for a 1-and-1.
When you hear from the sidelines, I mean, Danny Kerr was there. Danny Kerr then all of a sudden just got rid of his defensive positioning, kind of jumped as opposed to just sticking there, being tough, which easier said than done as the second free throw is drilled. But, God, you really got to stay in your positioning right there and try to take that charge.
Now tied at 47, 2:40 left to play. Southeast with the basketball over right-hand side to Drake Augustine. Now to Nakari Morical-Palmer. Nakari with the high bounce, goes between his legs, now plays it to Sawyers. Sawyers off to Luke Gebhardt. Luke wants to turn the corner, has Matucci right there with him. Now back to Morical-Palmer. He has a bounce between his back, gets in the paint, and a foul will be called as Drake Augustine came free. And I don't know how Nakari saw him, but he did and was able just to kind of shovel the ball to him, and a foul called there on Sacred Heart.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I don't know. That opening wasn't very big, but what a great foul from Ehrlich. I mean, Ehrlich just kind of got beat, and instead of letting the easy layup go up, made a hard foul, very clean foul, sending Augustine to the free throw line.
We talk about that a lot, don't we? If you're going to foul somebody,
yes,
make sure that you do it in a way where they're not going to make the shot. You don't need to knock him to the floor. Right there, Max Ehrlich just reached out and gave him a little bro hug, and that was his arms weren't able to come up to shoot.
You're exactly right. As you see, Augustine bury both free throws.
So Drake Augustine does his job, putting Southeast of Saline back up by 2 at the free throw line. It is 49-47. Here's Sacred Heart now, a little pick and roll. Disberger down low, and he scores. Alex Disberger, along with Max Ehrlich, working that pick and roll to perfection. 2 minutes left to go. We're tied again at 49.
When Ehrlich commands so much attention on the perimeter, all of a sudden you clap. If you have any screen, 2 defenders go to him, he finds a wide open Disberger on the other side.
It's going to be a baseline drive by Daniel Kerr. He hits the side of the backboard, but he was fouled. And 2 free throws coming up for Southeast of Saline. That was the 6th-team foul on Sacred Heart, and it was the first one against Jet Samuelson. First free throw is up and good. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, from here on out, we're shooting free throws, unless it's a player control foul, of course. That free throw gives Daniel Kerr a new career high of 12 points. Now he makes it 13 with both free throws. Boy, he has had a heck of a game.
Without a doubt, Devin. He's just stepped up. It's great to see this from Daniel Kerr.
Defensive coordinator Trent Douglas up, telling his guys how they need to defend this pick and roll. Here's Disberger on a little baseline drive. There's Nakari Morical-Palmer with a steal. See if Southeast can get something going here and score, make this a 2-possession game. Bryson Flex may want a timeout after Sacred Heart's 5th turnover of the half. 51-49, 85 seconds, and there's the full timeout by Southeast of Saline. 1:24 left to go in this one, a full timeout. Southeast of Saline with the ball. They lead by 2 here on KINA.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Need to make a power purchase by year's end? CanEquip has got you covered. With 14 locations, you'll find quality pre-owned inventory changing daily. Browse inventory right from your smartphone at canequip.com to see what's available. Looking for something specific? Visit CanEquip in Salina and talk to a sales professional to help you find it before the year is out.
CanEquip you. You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
51-49 is our score. 1:24 left to go in this one. If there is a tie-up on a dual possession, Southeast of Saline does have the arrow. Both teams are in the bonus situation. Southeast of Saline has 8 team fouls, 6 team fouls for Sacred Heart. Ball goes in the backcourt. Drake Augustine now to Luke Gebhardt. Back to Drake, left-hand wing, and they throw it away. Boy, what a terrible turnover for Southeast of Saline. And now Augustine had a Sacred Heart player trapped. I believe it was Max Ehrlich, and Sacred Heart called the timeout. Boy, you're in control there, Tyler. We'll keep it right here. And you really can have a chance to put this up by 2 possessions. And a costly turnover there for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, but again, I mean, the pressure put on from Sacred Heart, they did a really good job. They tried trapping you as soon as you crossed half court, and as the ball dropped down low and Southeast Saline had it on the baseline, it just kind of looked like Augustine thought he had a streaker going. That played right into Sacred Heart's hands. They had defenders there. They got the steal, and a great job calling the timeout right there. I mean, as we saw, Ehrlich was trapped, had nowhere to go. Calmly calls the timeout. Devin, this is I mean, sign me up for 4 more minutes. I mean, I don't want that to happen. Right. I mean, obviously we want to get out of here in the next minute and 11 with the Trojans win, but this is just high-level basketball.
It really is.
It's a lot of fun. It's 2 extremely well-coached teams. They're playing at an extremely high level. This is postseason basketball right now in February, and this is exactly what both teams want.
And we could have another night like that Friday night at home when Chapman comes into the building. That's been a good rivalry over the last few years. Of course, played Chapman in the football playoffs after we lost him off the regular season schedule. The basketball with Chapman has been great over the last few years. It seems like that girls' game, the team you expect to win never does.
Never.
And it's just
You're
really,
exactly right.
really great matchups. That's been going on, or that will go on Friday. Hopefully this weather goes through and gets cleared out and we're back to normal scheduling for basketball on Friday. Sacred Heart with it, top of the circle, Ehrlich, guarded by Nakari Morkel-Palmer. Inside a minute left to play. A traveling violation that goes uncalled, and now the ball pops free. Luke Gebhardt up the floor to Nakari. He gets underneath the rim, and he is fouled. Free throws coming up for Nakari Morkel-Palmer.
And, Devin, I would say 9 times out of 10, that's a stupid pass that you saw Gebhardt throw to Palmer. But when you have an all-state quarterback throwing to an athlete like Nakari Morkel-Palmer, he had to thread the needle. He threaded the needle. And what an absolute outstanding catch from Nakari Morkel-Palmer.
2 free throws coming up for Nakari. The junior on his first one makes it. He has 9 points. 3-point lead now for Southeast of Saline. We still have a long way to go. 49 seconds left. Nakari's second free throw on the way. Hits the front of the rim. Still a 1-possession game. Sacred Heart has not made a 3 here in the fourth quarter. They made 1 in the third, 3 in the second quarter. That was their hot shooting quarter. Here's an open 3. Baseline. Sawyers goes up. That's Nakari Morkel-Palmer goes up and gets it. And a foul on the backside against Sacred Heart. So back to the free throw line goes Southeast of Saline.
And that's where things get really tough with somebody like Nakari. You see Jason Mars. There wasn't a lot of contact, but he tried going up for the rebound. And Nakari's just so strong. He's so physical. And then he's just jumped so high. He was able to grab the rebound as he's fouled on the backside with the push. With the 1-on-1 opportunity.
Elbow to hand was above the rim on that rebound, and that's what got the foul. He just out-jumped everybody in the building. First free throw on the 1-and-1 is good for Nakari. He has just put this one now in a 2-possession game, and a full timeout is called. 37 seconds left to go. We'll step away one last time. Back to wrap it up. After this, another free throw coming up from Morkel-Palmer when we come back.
Is your business parking lot a pathetic patchwork of potholes? Then you'll want to hear this. Sage Products, Salina's leading janitorial supply company, is the only place in Kansas to buy UPM cold mix.
Is it better than the stuff at the big box stores?
You bet your asphalt. UPM cold mix is guaranteed to outlast the surrounding pavement, so you'll never have to fix the same pothole again. Call us at 309-1919 or go online to sageselects.com. Sage Products, providing all your COVID-19 supplies.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
Nakari Morkel-Palmer studying his second free throw. He made the first. This one is up, and it's good. Nothing but net for the junior. He's now 3 out of 4 here in this fourth quarter. 54-49. It's back to a 5-point advantage for Southeast of Saline. And Michael Matucci gets inside and gets an uncontested 2. 26 seconds left. Southeast still has a 3-point lead. We'll keep this one right here. Other scores that have come in, people trying to get their basketball in, I think mainly north of I-70, but see what this weather does. As I said at the onset of the contest, it looked like the major front was being pushed a little bit further to the south, and maybe our chances for what they originally thought was 4 to 8 inches, or I even heard 6 to 12 inches, was going to be lowered drastically. But it all depends on, too, what we get before that. Some people thinking maybe rain on the front edge, so we'll see what happens there. But whatever you're doing, please be safe. When you're going out, driving around, whatever you got to do, if it's work tomorrow or whatever. And it looks like we kind of dodged the rain a little bit looking at radar. Maybe just some snow going on right now. But it's going to be cold, Tyler.
Yeah, bundle up.
Yeah, we're talking -2 overnight Thursday night.
I'll tell you what, just run this on replay. SalinaPost.com, go to YouTube. You can watch this thing over and over because this is entertaining.
There's Nakari Moriko Palmer in a crowd. I'm not sure how many times he was fouled, but they finally get one. And I thought Bryson Flax was going to jump out of his Nikes right there as he was wondering how much abuse his star junior was going to have to take before they finally blew the whistle. So Nakari's going to go back to the free throw line.
And Devin, to be honest, it started off really good position from Sacred Heart, and then the freak of Nakari just kind of came out, and he just got away from the defenders. There was so much contact. It was an obvious call, but a lot of uproar from the Sacred Heart fans.
1-1, missed the front end. Still a one-possession game. 18 seconds left. Sacred Heart's down by 3. Matucci drives up to the to the three-point line. Off to Ehrlich. Gebhardt there. Sacred Heart needs a 3. They play it out here, and Southeast defending very well on that possession. And Sacred Heart is going to call a timeout. Brian Gormley wants to talk about it with 8 seconds left to go. Now you start playing the game if you really want to get too deep into this. If you're Southeast of Saline, when they get close to the three-point line, do you foul intentionally and put them on the line to shoot a 1-and-1? I mean,
yeah, and kind of, I think conventional wisdom these days is you might do that, but I'll tell you what, the scary thing about this team is Alec Disberger. I don't know if you want to send Sacred Heart to the free throw line with the opportunity to shoot a free throw and then the opportunity that he can get a rebound.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the length that you have on the perimeter if you're Southeast Saline. You want to play defense, you're going to switch all ball screens up top. If they happen to dump one down and get a 2, you let that happen. You just let your length kind of happen up top. That's the way I would lean right now. I don't know if you try to outsmart the game and see if you send them to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, and this timeout also gives Southeast a chance to set their defense. And really, you don't really have to be concerned at all with what goes inside the arc here. You definitely don't want to foul if you're inside the arc and there's a shot that goes up. Let them have the 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you do with Eli Sawyers right now. I mean, you're going to keep him on Disberger. I mean, obviously you're going straight, man. I think you rely on your guys to go out there and play D and play strong man-to-man defense.
Nobody on the inbounder, which is interesting. They get it into Ehrlich. Clock down to 6. He goes to Matucci. He's double-teamed. Ehrlich takes a desperation 3. He was a good 6 feet behind the line, and Southeast of Saline's going to win it. I don't know that's the shot that Sacred Heart wanted right there, but that's the shot they took, and Southeast of Saline is going to get out of Dodge, so to speak, with a victory. 54-51. Southeast of Saline will extend their record now to 11-3 on the season. They are 6-0 in league play, and now they have put Sacred Heart 2 games behind them. Sacred Heart now 10-3 overall, and they are 4-2 in league play. When we come back, we'll try to make sense of it all with final numbers. Also, Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game, and a conversation with head coach Bryson Flax. 54-51. Southeast of Saline wins it, and they win in Salina for the first time in a long, long time. We'll talk about that as well when we come back here on Postgame. It's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers, a 3-point win for Southeast of Saline here in Salina on KINA.